The following is a presentation of Westwood One Sports. If it's the NFL, it's on Westwood One.
Mahomes again from the gun, takes the low snap, looks left, pump fakes, throws over the middle, completes. It's Kelsey at the 30. Kelsey breaking free. 15, 10, 5. Kelsey is in for the Kansas City touchdown. And the Chiefs have won it in overtime.
Herbert under center, takes the snap, play action fake, screen, left side, Eckler blocking in front across the 10, down to the 5, cuts right, into the end zone, touchdown Chargers. Austin Eckler's second touchdown of the game, and that will put LA in front.
Shotgun, Burrow, looks, floats, left side, caught, Jamar Chase, touchdown, Cincinnati.
Tom Brady goes back to work. He'll throw on first down, sets up in the pocket, zips it to his left. Mike Evans has got it, breaks one tackle along the sidelines, and then he flips it to the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa.
With the script right out of Hollywood, the star-studded Los Angeles Rams are a hit. They have won Super Bowl 56 in dramatic come-from-behind fashion.
Every primetime game.
Whatever it takes.
All season long.
The only thing matters is a win. That's it.
The road to Super Bowl 57 is on Westwood One.
Let's go, man.
Now, it's time for Sunday Night Football.
We welcome you to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland for Week 5 of Sunday Night Football as the 2-2 Baltimore Ravens host the 2-2 Cincinnati Bengals. Tonight's broadcast of the National Football League on Westwood One is sponsored by Jack Links, by AutoZone, by Wrangler Jeans, by Barbasol Shaving Cream, by Geico, and by NFL.com. Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan Radke, along with former NFL offensive lineman Ross Tucker. Scott Graham will join us shortly from our Westwood One studios. It's a battle for the top spot in the AFC North tonight. Both teams come in at 2-2. The Bengals lost each of their first 2 games before responding with back-to-back wins, while the Ravens have alternated wins and losses. But here's the weird part for Baltimore. The 2 wins have come on the road. The 2 losses, both here at home, in games where they had double-digit leads. And so, Ross, this place has been very friendly for the home team over the years, but suddenly 5 straight losses in this building going back to last year. What the heck is going on with the Ravens?
It's a great question, and I think the best answer is that their defense is not what it's typically been under John Harbaugh. During his tenure going back to 2008, they're ranked in the top 2 in most of the statistical categories. That has not been the case going back to the end of the year last year, so far this year. They've allowed teams to come back on them. The Dolphins, they had several mental errors. The Bills, they ran into the juggernaut that is Josh Allen, but they have left their fans here absolutely exasperated in both home games this year.
Yeah, giving up big numbers, and that's exactly what Joe Burrow put up against this Ravens defense a year ago. 2 games against Baltimore, 941 passing yards in those games. What do you expect from him in the Bengals offense tonight?
I mean, if you look at the stats for the Bengals, you see how poorly they're running the football with Joe Mixon. You see how bad of a job the Ravens are doing stopping the pass. Why would you expect to do anything else? Justin Houston is out for the Ravens. He leads them in sacks. I would expect Joe Burrow to put the ball in the air early and often. Why not? It works for them, and it works for whoever goes against the Ravens.
Meanwhile, interesting matchup tonight. Lamar Jackson, who you think is playing at an MVP level, going up against what I think is a really underrated Bengals defense.
They absolutely are. They've been so good, especially in the second half. They haven't allowed a touchdown in the second half all year. I think their defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, is one of the best in the NFL. He has helped to totally turn around that side of the football.
Well, it feels like fall here in Baltimore tonight. 59 degrees as we get set for kickoff between two 2-2 teams looking to get to the top of the heap in the AFC North. Much more to come from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore as we approach kickoff between the Ravens and the Bengals. But when we return, Scott Graham joins us from our Progressive Insurance Studios. For a job you'll love, visit progressive.com/careers today. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Get what you want and pay over time when you use your Lowe's Advantage Card. Now through October 26, 2022. Ask for 0% APR with 36 fixed monthly payments on a product installation or appliance purchase of $1,000 or more. Shop for the appliances you want in-store or online. Or go to the store nearest you for installation. Now at Lowe's. Offer subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store Lowes.com for details. U.S. only.
Did you know Hulu Plus Live TV is the ultimate entertainment package that you need this football season? It has over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games, plus Hulu's entire streaming library. On top of that, it now comes with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. More content to watch. With unlimited DVR at no additional cost, you can record your favorite shows. It's like cable, only better. Live TV plan required. Restrictions apply. Access content from each service separately and select ESPN Plus content via Hulu. Learn more at Hulu.com.
Welcome to the Sunday Night Football pregame show on Westwood One. Sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get guaranteed low prices and excellent customer service from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now, here's your host, Scott Graham.
From our Westwood One studios as we get you ready for Sunday Night Football tonight at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore between the Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Lots of action here in week number 5, and we begin out in the desert with the lone unbeaten remaining team in the NFL, Philadelphia Eagles taking on Arizona Cardinals. Both teams had to go with fill-in kickers in the game today, and with Philly leading by 3 in the closing seconds, it was up to Arizona's fill-in kicker, Matt Amendola, to try to tie the game from 43 yards out.
43-yard attempt. The ball is spotted. The kick is underway, and the kick is no good. It's no good. It is wide right. No good. He missed it. The officials hesitated, and he missed it. The Eagles are going to be 5-0.
Merrill Reese and Mike Quick, Sports Radio 94 WIP. Philly wins it by a score of 20-17. They are now 5-0 on the season. Jalen Hurts 2 rushing touchdowns in this one. Kyler Murray threw for 1, but also an interception. And Arizona is now 2-3 on the year. Philly setting up a heck of a Sunday Night Football matchup next week with Dallas in the NFC East because the Cowboys went on the road today, knocked off the Rams 22-10. Cooper Rush still unbeaten as the quarterback starting for this team. Tony Pollard had a big rushing touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott had 78 yards. Dallas, as we said, is 4-1. Matthew Stafford broke the schneid on throwing a touchdown pass, and Cooper Kupp had another Cooper Kupp game, but the Rams are now 2-3. Hey, how about the New York Giants? They're in this mix as well. They beat Green Bay today in England 27-22, the final. Daniel Jones did not throw or run for a score, but had a great ball game as the Giants came back from a 17-3 deficit to win it and improved to 4-1. Aaron Rodgers threw for 222 and 2 scores, most of that coming in the first half of this one. Green Bay is now 3-2. Tom Brady still unbeaten in his career against Atlanta. He beat the Falcons again today, 21-15. Now 11-0 against Atlanta. Brady threw for 351 and a score. Marcus Mariota today threw for a touchdown. No interceptions, but Atlanta falls to 2-3. Kirk Cousins ran for a touchdown in the fourth quarter. That proved to be the difference maker as Minnesota held off Chicago today. 29-22 was the final in that ball game. Justin Jefferson, 154 yards receiving. And don't look now, but Minnesota's 4-1. Chicago is 2-3. San Francisco's back to 3-2. They beat Carolina 37-15 today in Carolina. Jimmy Garoppolo wins again as a starter, but a couple of big injuries in this ball game for San Francisco. Carolina falls to 1-4 on the year. A duel down the Superdome today, won by New Orleans. They beat Seattle 39-32 because they had Taysom Hill. He ran for 3 scores and threw for another. As the Saints improved to 2-3, Seattle falls to 2-3. Tennessee knocked off Washington today 21-17. Carson Wentz picked off at the goal line with a possibility of winning the game late in this one. Tennessee improves to 3-2. Washington falls to 1-4. How about Buffalo? Just all over Pittsburgh today in Buffalo, 38-3. Josh Allen throws for 424 and 4 touchdowns for the 4-1 Bills. Kenny Pickett got his first NFL start and threw for 327. And the losing effort for Pittsburgh is now 1-4. Jets beat Miami today 40-17 at MetLife Stadium. Zach Wilson gets another victory, and the Jets are now 3-2. Miami lost Teddy Bridgewater after taking a shot to the head, and the new protocols kept him out of the game. Miami is now 3-2 on the year. New England shut out Detroit 29-0 the score today at Gillette Stadium. Bailey Zappi, his first career start, threw for $188 and a touchdown for the 2-3 Patriots. Detroit kept off the board all day long. They now fall to 1-4. Cleveland dropped one at home today to the Chargers, 30-28. 2 more touchdowns for Austin Eckler for the Chargers in this one. They are now 3-2 on the year. Jacoby Brissett got picked off late, and Cade York missed a potential game-winning field goal in the final seconds. Cleveland is now 2-3. And Jacksonville can't beat Houston. Houston won again today in Jacksonville. That's the 9th straight time they've beaten the Jaguars. 13-6 the final. Houston's first victory of the year. Jacksonville is now 2-3. That's the NFL Scoreboard, sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. We continue with the pregame show. We'll take a closer look at tonight's matchup. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
For the end zone, he throws it, it's caught, touchdown!
For the first time, every NFL team on the SXM app features your team's pre- and post-game show. Live updates before games, post-game interviews, and press conferences after every game.
Really excited for our group, man. That was varsity ball today.
Now, your favorite team's broadcast includes their pre- and post-game shows all season long on the SXM app. All 32 team channels are also available in vehicles equipped with SiriusXM 360L radios.
NFL fans, right now on the SXM app, hear in-depth coverage of your team with the Believe Podcast Network on SiriusXM. It's all the analysis, all the breakdowns that matter to you, hosted by the players who played for your team and the fans who eat, sleep, and breathe it. 32 diehard fan bases, 32 podcasts. The Believe Podcast Network on SiriusXM. BLEAV. Search Believe in, followed by your team on the SXM app, Pandora, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and host of Black Diamonds, a SiriusXM original podcast. Right now on your podcast feed, I'm telling the story of the great Satchel Paige with Guardians pitcher Tristan McKenzie.
To know what he meant to the city of Cleveland, it's huge to know that I could just drag on his coattails a little bit and feel like I'm a part of his legacy.
Don't miss Black Diamonds. Available now on the SXM app, included with all of our trials and popular plans, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Big 12 football runs deep in your veins, then SiriusXM Big 12 Radio is where you need to be. We're talking conference and team previews, live games, news, and analysis from experts like Holly Rowe, Dusty Dvorak, Fozzie Whitaker, and Gabe Eichert, coaches shows, championship specials, and more. Get inside Big 12 football like nowhere else. Feed your fandom on the SiriusXM app. Stay up to date anywhere you go. Just download the app to start streaming.
Bank Stadium tonight, and part of the reason why the Ravens have struggled at home is the defense, which has given up leads and just given up a lot of offense. The Ravens defense has given up 68 catches and 968 receiving yards to opposing wide receivers. Marlon Humphrey from the Ravens knows that this group tonight isn't going to be a whole lot easier to stop.
It's really tough. They obviously have the best trio of wide receivers in the league. Joe Mixon, Pro Bowl running back. Joe Burrow, Pro Bowl quarterback. You got to have a lot of different looks for them. I think both teams, even though they're 2-2, I think both teams feel like they could be 4-0. So it's a really big matchup of two really good teams and kind of the race for the start for us to see who can get the lead in the division.
T. Higgins has been the hot hand in that wide receiver room of late. There's no doubt about that. But realizing that there's a guy like Tyler Boyd and a guy, of course, like Jamar Chase, you're going to have to spread the wealth somewhere. T told me earlier this week that's not really a problem with this team.
We're just a very unselfish group. We don't care who gets the most touches. We're going to cheer each other on no matter what and, have each other's back.
How much did this group grow up together, for lack of a better way of putting it, during that run last year?
I would say a lot. We've always been unselfish, but we really see that, all of us can produce. So we just got to encourage each other. When one of us is not, quote unquote, playing good, we just always, just encourage each other each and every single day, even at practice.
Your quarterback is somebody who, in watching him last year, it just seemed like as the moment got bigger, he got more calm. And, that was something for a guy who is as young as he is. Tell me about what Joe is like in the huddle, in the locker room, and in a game.
Exactly like what you said. He's calm. That's how he's been since we both came in our rookie year. I feel like he's always going to be that calm guy, but, he's a leader as well. He can be vocal when needed to be. And that's the kind of guy that I wouldn't mind running offense, and I'm glad he's my quarterback.
You take a look at this opponent, and obviously it's an opponent you know really well, and some things have changed there. What are you seeing from them on film?
There's still that Baltimore hungry defense. Hungry team. They force a lot of turnovers on defense, so obviously we got to protect the ball on offense. And just execute our game plan. And hopefully we can come out with that W.
It seems like from the outside looking in over the years that there is a really strong rivalry between a lot of different teams, all four of you really, in that division. It seems like these games are a little bit tougher, a little bit more personal. Is that something that you guys feel?
It's the AFC North. Every single team that's in the AFC North want to win this division. We all know it's a tough division. Obviously, it's going to be, it's going to mean more because we want to win the division, right? So, I would say so.
They did win that division last year, and of course the AFC Championship, and part of the reason why was their quarterback, and part of the reason why was what he did to Baltimore. 2-0 against them last year for 941 yards, 7 passing touchdowns. Keep this in mind as we go into tonight. No quarterback in NFL history has never thrown for 400 or more yards against the same opponent 3 times in a row. Bengals and the Ravens are coming up. The opening kickoff on the way. We'll rejoin Ryan Radke and Ross Tucker at M&T Bank Stadium when we return. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with the promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code WIN for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona 1-800-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Indiana, Kansas 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. Louisiana 1-877-770-STOP. New York 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Wyoming, West Virginia 1-800-522-4700 or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One. It's time for another memorable moment in football history, sponsored by NetSuite by Oracle.
Bengals have 3 receivers left and 1 out to the right. Burrow in the gun on 3rd and 2. He'll look to pass. Quick throw. Slant caught by Chase. Runs to the 30. Breaks out of the pass. He's sprinting down the middle of the field. The Ravens 40. Pulling away at the 30. 20. 10. Touchdown. Woo, how great is Jamar Chase? Woo, 82 man. Yards to the house.
Dan Horde and the ubiquitous Dave Lapham on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and the Bengals radio network. The answer to Dan's question is that Jamar Chase was really great. He played in Baltimore in Week 7 last year as he continued that great play all season long. Voted the 2021 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, Chase finished that game with 201 receiving yards to go along with that third-quarter touchdown in the Bengals' 41-17 victory. His fellow LSU alum Joe Burrow played lights out as well, posting a career-best 416 passing yards and 3 touchdown passes. Win was very satisfying for a young Cincinnati team who had lost 5 straight to the Ravens, being outscored 114-19 in the 3 previous meetings. That's tonight's memorable moment in football history, sponsored by NetSuite by Oracle. Over 31,000 businesses have the confidence they need because of NetSuite. Head to netsuite.com/touchdown for a one-of-a-kind flexible financing offer. That's NetSuite.com/touchdown. You take a look at what these two teams do. They are going to try to go back and forth. They're going to try to go up and down all night long. We told you what Joe Burrow was capable of doing. And Lamar Jackson obviously playing at an MVP caliber level if his defense will keep up with him. Let's take you back out now to M&T Bank Stadium for the guys calling the action, Ryan Radke and Ross Tucker. Guys.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. 57 degrees as we get set for kickoff here in Baltimore tonight. Let's talk about tonight's keys of the game, Ross Tucker, and begin with the visiting Cincinnati Bengals, winners of 2 in a row, looking to make it 3 here tonight.
Well, I still think no matter how well Lamar Jackson's throwing the football, that it starts with stopping the Ravens' rushing attack, trying to make them one-dimensional and trying to get them into as many third and long situations as possible. And then on offense, the Bengals need to take their shots. They've done it so well under Joe Burrow. He's got 10 touchdowns of 50 yards or more since his rookie year, which is by far the most in the NFL, especially against this Ravens D. Try to beat them deep.
All right, let's talk about the keys for the Ravens. Reeling a little bit after blowing another big lead at home last week against Buffalo. Got out quick, 20-3, then just kind of collapsed from there on out. What's the keys for John Harbaugh's team tonight?
You know, Ryan, I think it's J.K. Dobbins' time. They kind of eased him back after that horrific injury in the preseason last year. But last week he had 2 touchdowns. Remember, the last full game he played, Week 17 of 2020 against the Bengals, he had 160 yards rushing. That rookie year, over 6 yards a carry. I think that young man is ready and able to carry a bigger load. Meanwhile, on defense, it's really pretty simple, right? Nothing cheap or deep. You know, they can't allow guys to get behind them like they did against the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill or against the Buffalo Bills. Keep them in front and tackle them. Don't let T. Higgins or Jamar Chase beat you over the top.
Bengals will take the field tonight in their white uniforms with black numbers. They have the black pants trimmed in orange and the orange helmets with the black stripes. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, all black tonight. Black jerseys with the white numbers, black pants, and they have the black helmets. Coin toss at midfield. Baltimore won the toss. They have deferred their option to the second half. So we'll see Joe Burrow and that Bengals offense out here first tonight. It is a sold-out house here at M&T Bank Stadium. The Ravens and the Bengals. First place in the AFC North is on the line. Both these teams coming in at 2-2.
And Ryan, I don't know how many of our listeners care, but this place is unbelievable. I mean, our booth right here, when we got here tonight, they had a whole box of candy for us. The lighting in this stadium, the crowd, the uniforms. We're going to have a night tonight.
Hey, this place is unbelievable, but let's get something straight. The bowl of candy was for you. It was not us. It was you.
Well, they had your picture on it as well.
That was an act of pity.
I do think that was the Ravens PR staff knowing the amount of love they would get on social media at Ross Tucker NFL because of an entire genre that I single-handedly created around press box food videos.
I would agree with that. Justin Tucker getting ready to kick it away. Chris Evans back at the goal line. Bengals have not returned a kickoff this season. It's been all touchbacks. See what one of the best in the NFL, Justin Tucker, does right here. Great to have you along. Week 5 of Sunday Night Football. Tucker is on the approach. He'll kick it from our left to our right, and we are underway with an end-over-end boot. Evans will let it sail over his head. It lands 6 yards deep in the end zone, and here comes that Bengals offense, led by Joe Burrow so far this season, 1,099 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, 7th in the NFL in passing yards, tied for 6th in touchdowns. We mentioned a year ago, 941 yards in 2 games against Baltimore. Joe Mixon is the running back. Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins are the wide receivers. Former Raven Hayden Hurst is the tight end. 1st and 10 Bengals at their own 25. Ball is on the right hash. They'll start empty. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Burrow gets the shotgun snap. Quick throw left side. Caught by Chase along the numbers. Cuts inside across the 30. Over the 35. And he's out to the 36 for a first down before Odafe Owe can make the stop. It's a gain of 11, and the Bengals get the ball to Jamar Chase right off the bat.
This is quickly becoming one of the most popular plays in the NFL. Just a quick wide receiver screen out in the flat. You get your tackle to that side to be a lead blocker. It's very effective, number one, in terms of getting productive yards, but also it gets your young star receiver involved in the flow of the game early.
Bengals from their own 36, 1st and 10. Burrow in the gun with Mixon to his left. Quick pass right side, caught by Chase again. This time wrapped up and dropped immediately by Marcus Peters. Right at the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
That's all instincts right there from Peters, whose instincts are pretty much as good as anybody in the league. He's got the most interceptions, touchdowns, takeaways on the defensive side of the ball since 2015, but he sensed Joe Burrow's drop with Peters in off coverage, exploded out of his back pedal to make that tackle. Well done.
Second down 10 from the 36. Burrow in the gun, slot left, single man right. Burrow takes the snap, back to pass, looking to his right, pumps, throws short right, caught by Mixon on the sideline across the 40, and he's banged out of bounds up at about the 41-yard line by Patrick Queen, the inside linebacker. They'll give him progress closer to the 42-yard line. Gain of about 6. That'll set up 3rd and 4 for the Bengals here on the opening drive of the game.
Really like what the Bengals are doing to start this drive. They're getting the ball out of Joe Burrow's hands quickly. That enables the offensive line to get into a little bit of a rhythm, feel good about themselves for when they get into a third down situation like this. 3rd and medium, all the crossing route stuff is there and available to get the first down.
3rd and 4, they need the 46 for a first down. Burrow in the gun, slot right, single man left. Burrow back to pass, under pressure, hit as he throws, incomplete. Trying to get it to Chase out on the right sideline, but Calais Campbell, the veteran, applied the heat, and the Bengals will punt it away.
It was a stunt up front between two of the defensive linemen. Calais Campbell was actually the penetrator, and it was the looper, Matabike, who got picked up. Unbelievable job by Campbell, just discarding the center, Alex Karras, and getting that hit on Burrow. The old man can still get it done.
Kevin Huber to punt, Devin Duvernay back to return. Here's the snap. Huber, the left footer, hits a high, short, spinning kick to the far sideline. That's going to bounce out of bounds right at about the 29. We'll see if they spot it there. The official is running up the sideline, and he is going to stop right around that 28, 29-yard line. And that's where the Ravens will have it when we come back after just a 29-yard punt. 12:57 to go in the first quarter. There is no score. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Kevin Hart, and guess what? I've got my own channel on Sirius XM, Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio, channel 96. We play the best stand-up comedy from some of my favorite comedians, and I got my own show. It's called Straight from the Heart, and I host it with a bunch of unattractive friends of mine. They call the Planet the Cup Boys. Every Tuesday and Thursday, real, raw, authentic conversation. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Laugh Out Loud Radio right here on Sirius XM, channel 96. Don't miss it.
3, 2, 1. Checker flag right here.
I want a lot more of those big trophies.
Listen to SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 and on the SXM app, included with all of our trials and popular plans. Sunday, we're back on the track at 1:30 p.m. Eastern with NASCAR Cup Series Racing. It's the South Point 400 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
One more round to go, yes!
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio
Channel 90.
I hyper-focus on doing my job.
Hell yeah, baby!
Are you tired of hearing from analysts too tired to stay up for Pac-12 After Dark? We've got the best coverage of the Conference of Champions on Pac-12 This Morning. From the guys that played in the league, Ryan Leaf, Shane Vereen, and Evan Moore.
We were 41.5-point underdogs at the Coliseum, and we beat them.
Plus the biggest names like Stanford head coach David Shaw tune in too.
My drive in, I'd rather listen to some Pac-12-centric talk. So great to talk to both of you guys.
Pac-12 This Morning, weekday morning starting at 11 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Channel 373 and the SXM app.
Hi, everybody. Christopher Mad Dog Russo here. Familiar? You should be. Well, now you can catch Mad Dog's Daily Bite each day as a podcast, where you'll hear my thoughts and opinions on the biggest topics around the world of sports. NFL, baseball, golf, NBA, even the hockey. That you know you can count on. That's Mad Dog's Daily Bite. Drops daily anywhere you get your podcasts. And you can also hear me weekdays 3 to 6 Eastern on Mad Dog Unleashed, Sirius XM Channel 82, or anytime on the SXM app.
Knowledge and experience matters. Grainger has answers to help you get jobs done, plus supplies and solutions for every industry. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by. 12:57 to go first quarter. No score. Ravens will have it for the first time, led by Lamar Jackson. 11 touchdown passes, tied for the NFL lead coming into this week. He's 9th in the NFL in rushing, number 1 among quarterbacks. He'll start in the gun. Ravens have the ball at their own 31st and 10. J.K. Dobbins is the back. Here's the snap. Jackson fakes the handoff. Quick throw right side. Caught by Mark Andrews outside the numbers. Cuts back in across the 35. Got grabbed, it looked like, by the face mask. Finally stood up around the 37-yard line.
Boy, I'm surprised they didn't throw the flag.
Yeah, I am
They
too.
clearly grabbed his face mask. I don't know. Maybe they felt like the Bengals defender took it off fast enough, but usually they call that. Wow, I just saw it on the monitor. That is a blatant face mask. Looking at it a second time from Logan Wilson, the leading tackler linebacker for the Bengals. And that was right, Ryan, on the Ravens sideline, and they were all screaming for it. I am stunned that that wasn't called.
Yeah, seemed obvious, but they didn't throw the flag. Bates and Awuzie combined on the stop. Gain of 7 yards, 2nd down and 3. Pistol formation now with Dobbins lined up behind Jackson. Ricard, the fullback, in the backfield as well. Dobbins gets the handoff, angles left along the hash, and he gets stood up right near that first down marker. It looks like they're going to give it to him. Progress just across that 40-yard line. B.J. Hill on the tackle. It's a gain of 3, and that will be a Ravens first down.
Multiple pullers on both of the first 2 plays for the Ravens. One ended up being a pass the other direction. That time, Dobbins followed Linderbaum, the center, and Moses, the right tackle. Pullers are deadly in the sense, Ryan, that the linebackers are always going to follow their eyes when they see a lineman pulling. That's why when you go the other direction, you can a lot of times have success.
Ravens will go empty on 1st and 10 for their 40. The snap hit Duvernay, the motion man. He runs out to the right side, turns the corner at the 45, and he's out of bounds near a first down. Disaster turns into a first down run for the Ravens. Duvernay came in motion from the left. It looked like the snap hit him. He was able to go over, pick it up, and gains 12 yards. Snap hit him right in his arm as he was coming in motion.
Are you sure that isn't how they called it? They don't want Duvernay to come in motion, have the ball hit him in the chest, bounce down like a basketball, come right back into his hands, and then he turns the corner for a first down. Yeah. Listen, it's an oblong ball. If that bounces any other way, it's probably Bengals football.
Yeah, Greg Roman said, let's try something new this week. From the Bengals 48, 1st and 10. Pistol formation. Jackson takes the snap, turns, fakes the Dobbins. Jackson rolling left, dumps it short, caught by Duvernay, runs out to the sideline across the 40, puts a shoulder down. He's banged out of bounds by Awuzie, just short of the first down, inside the 40 at the 39. That'll be a gain of 9 and bring up 2nd down and 1.
It's kind of unbelievable, isn't it? Duvernay's become one of the main cogs in this offense, sort of out of nowhere, as the Ravens continue to get on the ball and trying to press this Bengals defense, which is probably already tired on this drive.
Here's the snap, handed off Dobbins, running left outside the hash, first down to the 35, runs through a tackler, and then finally gets knocked down by Awuzie at about the 33. Von Bell was the first man there, gain of 6 on that 2nd down and 1 run from J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, that was Ohio State on Ohio State crime right there. Von Bell came up, and J.K. Dobbins lowered the boom on Von Bell, just ran him right over his face. You know, Dobbins is 5'10", 215. That is one powerful little ball of muscle that just went over Von Bell's face.
9:43 to go in the first quarter. No score. Ravens at the Bengals 33, 1st and 10. Jackson under center takes the snap. Here's a toss to Duvernay out of the backfield, running left out to the sideline. Finds a crease, ducks his shoulder, dives ahead, and he's got the first down. Duvernay disappeared behind some bodies, then all of a sudden came shooting out and dives all the way down to the 21. A gain of 12 for Devin Duvernay.
Boy, they have the Bengals on their heels right now, which is why the Bengals are making a line change. They're getting a whole new D-line in there because the tight ends and Ronnie Stanley and Ricard, they just pancaked a number of Bengals on the perimeter on that toss play. So impressed by the blocking of the tight ends and fullbacks for the Ravens. That is as much of their secret sauce as anything.
Ball on the far side left hash at the Cincinnati 21, 1st and 10. Jackson all by his lonesome in the backfield, takes the snap. Jackson rolling to his right, looking down the field. Jackson being chased now, gives ground and throws the ball away, incomplete. Good decision that time by Jackson with Mike Hilton, the nickel corner, bearing down on him. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Just to go back, Ross, to that run by Duvernay, it's kind of what we've seen from Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers with Deebo Samuel the last couple of years. Line him up in the backfield, just find different ways to get him the football.
It's a really good point, especially with some of the running back injuries they've had. Why not let Duvernay, who's so good with the ball in his hands, I mean, he leads the NFL with over 15 yards per punt return, and he has the fastest GPS mile per hour of any player this year. Get him the ball behind some of these blockers on the perimeter.
Ravens will go empty. Trips right. 2 receivers left. 2nd and 10 for the Bengal 21. Quick pass over the middle is incomplete. Jackson trying to get that ball to Prochet right about the 15-yard line. Off his hands, and now a 3rd and 10 coming up for Baltimore. Opening drive for them. 8:46 to go here in quarter number 1.
Ravens went to an empty set, so the Bengals checked to an automatic all-out blitz. Empty set means you only have 5 blockers. Bengals brought 6. Lamar Jackson knew he had to get rid of the ball quickly. Really, it was just an errant throw to Prochet over the middle.
Bengals defense has been great on 3rd down, giving up just 30% conversions, 3rd best in the NFL. Ravens will go empty again. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Shotgun snap. Jackson back to pass. Rush coming. Throws over the middle. Caught by Likely, the tight end. But he's brought down shy of the 1st down. Inside the 20th and 19 by Dax Hill. 1st-round pick out of Michigan. Gain of just 2. That'll bring out Justin Tucker in the field goal unit.
So I think that's poor right there because it's the 2nd play in a row where they went with an empty set. The Bengals don't have another check. They ran the exact same stunt. So if you're Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, you should know, hey, this is what they're going to do against empty, and should have had a better plan, A, to pick it up, and B, to try to get the ball down the field for a 1st down.
37-yard attempt for the most accurate kicker in NFL history, Justin Tucker. Here's the snap, ball down. The kick is on the way, and it is good. Tucker tucks it right inside the upright, and the Ravens take the lead. A reminder, for every field goal made tonight and throughout the remainder of the season, Barbasol will make a donation to Kurt and Brenda Warner's Treasure House, a living community for adults with disabilities. Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American original for over 100 years. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. 8:03 to go in the 1st quarter. It's the Ravens 3 and the Bengals nothing. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Let's be real. Mopping is a hassle. You have to fill the bucket, pushing a wet, heavy mop around, then cleaning the mop when you're done so it doesn't grow bacteria. A hassle on top of a hassle. Try Swiffer Wet Jet. With Swiffer Wet Jet, you start with a fresh pad and cleaning solution every time. And when you're done, you just toss the pad. Swiffer Wet Jet. The faster, easier, cleaner way to clean your floors.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
New Jack Link's Barbecue Pork Tender Bites. A mouth-watering, sweet and savory bite-sized barbecue snack. Because if barbecue wants to be a flavor and a patio appliance, Jack Link's is good with it. Available at a store near you.
At Wrangler, we know that life is all about taking the reins, no matter what's in front of you or which way the road turns. Because life is one big glorious ride, and Wrangler jeans are made to handle every step of it. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This season, for the first time, you can hear every Westwood One NFL broadcast streamed live for free. Catch all the action on the NFL app on WestwoodOneSports.com via Westwood One station streams or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. It's all sponsored by AutoZone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. 10-play, 51-yard drive for the Ravens results in a 37-yard field goal for Justin Tucker. And it's a 3-0 Baltimore lead with 8:03 to go here in quarter number 1. Good start for the Ravens, Ross. They kept the Bengals off the scoreboard and found a way to get an early score.
It was a really good start, but they stalled out. It felt like they had so much momentum on that drive, especially keeping the ball on the ground. Then what happened? 3 straight incompletions. And that's one where I wonder if Greg Roman looks back on it, or John Harbaugh says to Greg Roman, we should have kept running the rock.
Tucker to kick it away. Evans waiting for this one. He's going to return it. He's got it at the 3-yard line, straight ahead across the 10, now to the 15, right side of the 20, 25-yard line, out across the 30. And Evans finally brought down at around the 31-yard line. So the first time the Bengals have returned a kick this year, and it's a good one. Christian Welch getting down to make the stop after a 29-yard return. Don't miss all the NFL excitement on NBC next Sunday night when the Dallas Cowboys meet the Philadelphia Eagles. And, of course, you can also hear Sunday Night Football each week right here beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on many of these same stations, on the NFL app or online at westwood1sports.com. Bengals from the 31, 1st and 10. Burrow under center, 2 receivers to the right. Mixon is the running back in the backfield. Boyd in motion from right to left. Here's the snap. Toss it to Mixon, running left toward the numbers, looking for a lane. Can't find one. Drop for a loss. Back inside the 30 at the 29. Odafe Oweh makes the tackle. Loss of 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 12. And Ross, that's the big question with this Bengals offense. Can they get the run game going, averaging 3 yards per carry, one of the worst in the NFL?
Well, the answer is no if you're going to have wide receiver Stanley Morgan trying to crack block Odafe Oweh. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Stanley Morgan is 6'1", 205. Odafe Oweh just chucked him into Joe Mixon. That wasn't even close.
2nd 11 for the 29. They'll give it to Chase, who lined up in the backfield, runs to the right, avoids a man in the backfield, out to the sideline, and just steps out of bounds up and about the 30. Jason Pierre-Paul got in the backfield to create some traffic, and they'll mark Chase out of the 29, so no gain on the play. 3rd and 11 coming up for the Bengals.
Interesting to see the Bengals really trying to go lateral on this rushing attack. Both of their runs have been wide, and again, that time Tyler Boyd was trying to block JPP. What are the Bengals doing? These receivers are not blocking the defensive ends for the Ravens once, I promise.
Bengals in 3rd and 11 from their own 29. Ball is on the right hash. Trips left, single receiver right. Shotgun snap to Burrow. He's back to throw. Looking, pressure coming. Burrow gets away, and now he's sacked. Looked like he was going to get away initially, and then Jason Pierre-Paul, who was in the backfield a moment ago, brings him down at the 21-yard line. 17th time this season Burrow has been sacked. It's a loss of 9, and the Bengals will punt it away again.
Yeah, not a good job by Lyle Collins, the right tackle. He even had Samaje Perine there to chip if he needed it, but he got beat inside by JPP. I'd also say Joe Burrow needs to do a better job in some of these situations of getting rid of the ball.
Huber to punt it away. The left footer, it's a high spiraling kick to Duvernay. Waiting for this one. He's got it at about his own 28. Starts to the right side across the 30. Trying to get to the sideline. Stops his feet and is brought down just across the 30 at about the 32. Stanley Morgan getting down to make the special teams tackle. 51-yard punt, a 4-yard return, and we'll step aside. With 5:55 to go here in the first quarter, Ravens lead the Bengals 3-0. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, an oil change with full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advance can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $36.99. Find your solution for better fuel efficiency today at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com. Get in zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Need to hire? What you need is a scouting partner like Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. The moment you post a sponsored job, you'll get instantly matched with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your job description. And you'll only pay for applications that meet your job's must-have requirements. Flag those that don't, and they'll be replaced for free with another candidate on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credits.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's one day bigger than Sunday, Election Day. A day we all come together as a community, as a country, and vote. It's your fundamental right. The issues that matter most to you will be decided this election. In some states, you must be registered a month before Election Day to vote, so register now. All 32 NFL teams are making their stadiums available for election-related activities if needed. Go to NFL.com/vote and get registered today.
Hey fans, order NFL Sunday Ticket and stream every live out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. Eligibility and blackout restrictions apply. Remote access to only one game at a time. Auto renews each season unless you cancel. Go to NFLSundayTicket.tv. 5:55 to go first quarter. Ravens on top of the Bengals by a score of 3-0. Baltimore will start this drive at their own 32, 1st and 10. Ravens have made a habit of getting out to leads. They've scored first now in all 5 games this season. Pistol look with Dobbins lined up behind Jackson. 2 receivers left. Ball is on the near side right hash. McCarry, the fullback, will move off to Jackson's left. Lamar barks out the signals, waits on the snap. He's got it, holds it out, gives it to Dobbins, runs left outside the hash. Big hole across the 35, now to the 40, outside 45 near the sideline. Finally brought down near midfield. More big running room for J.K. Dobbins. Von Bell, Jesse Bates combined on the stop only after a pickup of 17 out to the Baltimore 49.
Bengals had a 5-down front. That means 5 down linemen. And the Ravens came with an old school counter, pulling both their guard and tackle. You don't see that very often because usually you have a tough time blocking that backside D tackle, but Zeitler had the kick out, and Moses got up in the hole. Gosh, I love watching this Ravens running game.
Jackson in the gun, 2 receivers left. Here's the snap. Lamar back to pass, off a play fake. Pressure coming, rolling to his right, scanning the field, looking, throws, right sideline incomplete. Dumps that one into the Ravens bench. Second time the Bengals have been able to force Lamar Jackson to throw it away. Logan Wilson applying the pressure, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 here for Baltimore.
And both of those times Lamar's thrown it away have been 1st and 10. You know, usually that's the best down to throw the football on. That's why Greg Roman's doing it. But the Bengals have been up to the task. Ravens might need to stick with the run a little bit here. Those are winning plays, by the way, by Lamar to throw the football away. That's the right move in that situation. But typically that's when they have wide open receivers.
Ravens will line up with 3 receivers right, single man to the left. Kenyon Drake is in there now. Shotgun snap, Jackson back throws, takes a shot in his chest, and the pass is incomplete. Jermaine Pratt coming up the middle. And Lamar Jackson, actually it was Pratt that got a hand on that to tip it away. I think it was Trey Hendrickson that was coming right in the face of Lamar Jackson, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Well, Hendrickson was unblocked, so McCarry sifted. You know, he took the most dangerous, and in that situation it was Pratt. You ever hear somebody say sift? That just means the offensive lineman took a blitzing linebacker inside of them because they're the closest guy to the quarterback.
3rd and 10 for the Ravens from their own 49. 3 receivers, bunch to the right, single man to the left. Drake is in the backfield, shotgun snap to Jackson, back to pass. Lamar looking, pressure coming, hit in the backfield, and sacked. Back around the 40-yard line. There is a penalty flag that was thrown in the secondary, and it's going to be against Cincinnati.
It's uncanny how often that happens, isn't it?
Sam Hubbard is the guy that got the sack, but Scott Novak is about to tell us it's being wiped away.
Holding, defense number 22. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's against Chidobe Awuzie, the veteran corner. And instead of the sack and the Ravens having to punt, Baltimore will continue the drive, 1st and 10.
Wow, that is tough. Awuzie was in press man coverage on Mark Andrews. Tells you a little bit what they think of Andrews. And he was holding him. Now, he was trying to do it in the 5-yard bump zone, but you still can't grab him and hold on to him like that. Interesting to see the Bengals put one of their cover corners on Andrews. I like it.
From the Bengals, 46 now, 1st and 10. Jackson keeps on a replay, running to the right across the 40. Ducks his shoulder. Puts his shoulder right into Eli Apple, and he's run out of bounds at around the 38-yard line, but there's a flag behind the play, and this one is coming back. This is going to be a hold against the Ravens.
Well, it's interesting because it's well behind the play.
Holding, offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's McCarry, who you were talking about a second ago.
Right, so McCarry's in there on this series at left tackle for Stanley, who I think is on a pitch count. And he kind of did a nice job humping Hendrickson in. It's kind of a hump move when the guy starts to slant in like that. I don't love that call against McCarry. You know, when a defensive lineman angles like that, you want to use their momentum against them.
So move it back to the Baltimore 44. It'll be 1st and 20. Jackson lines up in the gun, takes the snap, back to pass, pumps out to his right side, and now just throws it into the ground, incomplete.
Smart move.
They pumped that, and then we're trying to set up a screen. J.K. Dobbins was in the area. Both Dobbins and Jackson are arguing that Dobbins was being held, but the officials aren't buying it, and that'll bring up second down and long.
Wasn't going anywhere. Sam Hubbard was all over it, the veteran D-end, as was Awuzie. Really well done. Hubbard felt that, and really they should have called a penalty on him. I mean, he felt that, and he just reached out and sort of clotheslined J.K. Dobbins. You're not allowed to do that. I don't think the officials saw it.
Jackson just 3 of 8 throwing so far. Lines up in the gun here with Dobbins to his left on second down and 20. 2 receivers right, single man left. That's Duvernay. He'll go in motion to the right. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Back to throw. Swings it out right side. That's caught by Duvernay on the sideline, and he's shoved out of bounds by Logan Wilson up at about the 49-yard line. And so a third and long coming up for Baltimore here.
These are not the situations that the Ravens handle best, especially without Rashad Bateman, who's probably their best deep threat receiver. Third and forever. You really want Lamar Jackson to be careful with the football here. No interceptions, no sacks. Not the worst thing in the world if you punt it away and try to pin him deep again.
Bateman out with a foot injury tonight. Third and 15 for the 49. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Back to pass. Has time. Steps up in the pocket. Looking. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Gets tripped up from behind by Hendrickson and tumbles down across the 50 at about the 47. Just when it looked like Jackson had room to run, Trey Hendrickson clips his heels. It goes as a gain of 4, and the Ravens will punt.
What's the one where they clip their heel? There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
He had a chance there. I don't know that he would have gotten a first down, but it would have been close because all the second-level defenders for the Bengals really had dropped deep in coverage.
So the rookie Jordan Stout is on to punt, drops the nose of the football, hits a high end-over-end kick. Trent Taylor signals for a fair catch. He's got it at the 9-yard line, and that's where the Bengals will have it with 2:51 to go here in the first quarter, and the Ravens on top 3-0. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
What if I told you you could change your life in just 2 minutes? Wait, this isn't a life hack. It's a toothbrush, an Oral-B electric toothbrush. See, Oral-B uses a dentist-inspired round brush head that basically hugs each tooth. So, in just 2 minutes of brushing, it honestly feels like you just left the dentist without the annoying leaving your house part. So, get yourself an Oral-B and upgrade your routine. Best use of 2 minutes ever. Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. You just gotta keep driving towards the end zone. And when it's time to turn the game around, you need all the right parts to play together. So next time you need a part for your car, don't call it quits. Head to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts. So the road to victory is always in your favor. And you can keep driving well into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Technology lets you stream an infinite amount of reality TV.
Want to watch True Crime Baking Challenge?
Nah, let's do Psychic Soccer Moms. But to streamline your organization's data management, you need more than technology. You need CDW experts who can consolidate and manage all of your data in one unified experience with the flexible HPE GreenLake platform, so you can innovate and make decisions faster.
Let's just watch this.
Previously on Meatballs and Muscle Cars.
HPE makes data transformation possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/HPE.
Getting a tattoo of your team's mascot on your arm and your back and your face. Who's the mascot now? Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and a great shave starts with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. You're looking good, America. You're shaving with Barbasol.
Barbasol. Don't miss all the NFL action Thursday night on Amazon Prime Video when the Washington Commanders meet the Chicago Bears. Of course, you can also hear Thursday Night Football each week right here beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on many of these same Westwood One stations, on the NFL app, or online at westwoodonesports.com. 2:51 to go first quarter. 3-0 Ravens on top. Bengals will start this drive with their own 9, Ross. And so far, Cincinnati has had the ball twice, 7 total yards. What do the Bengals have to do to get this offense going?
I think they need to drive the ball down the field. And I think the issue is they're concerned about their offensive line and pass protection. But so far, all they've done is gone lateral. couple of lateral runs, a couple of horizontal passes. Let Burrow step into one and get the ball down the field to one of these three stud receivers.
Bengals will go empty in a quarterback draw. Burrow runs straight ahead and then slides down just outside the near side hash at the 11.
Wow.
So it's a gain of 2. Brent Urban came in, put a little shot on Burrow, who immediately looked at the official, hoping for a flag that didn't come. 2nd down and 8.
I think that was their hope, to just try to slow down this Ravens pass rush a little bit. The scary thing, for if you're a Bengals fan, is this Ravens pass rush hasn't been that great, and yet already in this game, Calais Campbell, JPP, the Bengals offensive line continues to struggle.
2nd down and 8. Bengals have it at their own 11. Burrow in the shotgun, takes the snap, back to pass, looking to his left, throws left, incomplete. Trying to get that one to Jamar Chase, who had lined up in the backfield.
It's a really good job by Alway right there, knowing what was going on with Chase and just getting into his way as Chase went out for the route. He lined up in the backfield, and Alway gave him just enough to get him off his route.
So 3rd and 8 for the Bengals now. Ball at their own 11 on the near side left hash. Out of the huddle, they'll go with 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Samaje Perine, who had been wide to the left, comes into the backfield. He's going to stop just in front of Mixon, right behind the left tackle.
Ravens showing pressure. I think they might bail out.
Burrow takes the snap, back to throw, looking, throws short right, caught by Hurst, the tight end, trying to get to the outside, can't do it, run out of bounds by Peters at the 15. So Hayden Hurst, the former Raven first-round pick, able to make that catch, but stopped a couple of yards shy of the 1st down, a gain of 5, and Kevin Huber coming out to punt again.
Can't even tell you how good that was by Marcus Peters right there. The guy is known as a cover corner. That's his 2nd big-time tackle already. I thought Hurst was going to get the 1st down. Pick a side of Peters, run through his shoulder, get the 1st down. Peters just stoned him.
Huber standing back at his own 2, waiting to punt. Cam Adamitis, the long snapper, sends it back to him. Here comes the kick from Huber. High, short, wobbly kick towards the far sideline. It'll bounce on the sideline right around midfield. It somehow stayed in bounds and is going to roll dead inside the Ravens' 40-yard line. I thought that ball might have hit in the white. The official on the far side is walking up. He is stopping at the 45-yard line of Baltimore. And that's where the Ravens will have it when we come back. With 1:15 to go in the first quarter, Ravens on top 3-0. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Wrangler is made for those moments when your heart says go and you follow it beyond what's expected. Because when the heart calls, you gotta be ready in jeans that are made to move and built to last. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Are you ready? At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy paint applicators, and GRK screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
You could save big when you bundle your home, auto, and other vehicles with Progressive. Now that we've covered something you could do, it's time for sports stuff you definitely could not do.
You could not have turned that double play. If you think you could dive, then spin, then launch a perfect throw 120 feet, you must be forgetting that you get dizzy when you stand up too fast sometimes. If you tried to throw that hard, that would be the last thing you did with your arm before shoulder surgery.
But you definitely could save big when you bundle your home, auto, and other vehicles with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
New Jack Link's Barbecue Pork Tender Bites. A mouth-watering, sweet and savory bite-sized barbecue snack. Because if barbecue wants to be a flavor and a patio appliance, Jack Link's is good with it. Available at a store near you.
Join us again tomorrow night for Monday Night Football on Westwood 1 when the Chiefs host the Raiders. The great Kevin Harlan, the Hall of Famer Kurt Warner have all the action beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern. NFL Network's Rich Eisen gets it all started with the pregame show at 7:30. And Patrick Mahomes will join Rich as a guest on the Mercedes-Benz Vans Hotline. Want to unlock your potential? Open up a vehicle that's capable and versatile enough to drive your ambitions as far as you want to take them. A Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. Now that punt was marked out of bounds at midfield. So that's where the Ravens will start 1st and 10 with a 3-0 lead. 1:21 to go in the first quarter. Jackson in the shotgun takes the snap, back to pass. Jackson looking, throws up his back foot down the field. Duvernay is there and makes the catch inside the 30. They're going to mark him down at the 29-yard line. Jesse Bates was in coverage and made the tackle, but Jackson hangs in and finds Duvernay for a gain of 21.
Well, first of all, Lamar Jackson had all kinds of time, terrific protection, and he has a strong arm. He threw that off his back foot, didn't step into it at all, and threw that ball 25 yards on a rope to Duvernay.
From the 29-yard line of the Bengals, now 1st and 10. Jackson under center with receivers left and right. Dobbins is the single back in the backfield. Jackson puts his hands under center, takes the snap, back on a play fake, rolling to his right, throws right sideline. That's caught out of bounds at the 20-yard line as DeMarcus Robinson with his first catch of the night. They'll mark him out at the 21 for a gain of 8. Eli Apple is the man that forced him out of bounds. It'll be 2nd and 2.
That was an audible by Lamar Jackson at the line based on what he saw. Another one of those first down passes. This time they have some success with it. The Ravens need a touchdown here. They have dominated the action this quarter. You got to go up by 2 scores. A field goal won't cut it.
Here's the snap, handoff, Dobbins straight ahead. He goes nowhere. Ducked his head trying to find a lane, but he got crunched. Josh Tupou eventually made the stop. Mike Hilton was in the backfield as well. And that will bring up a 3rd down and 2 for Baltimore, which we will have when we come back. End of the first quarter with the score, the Ravens 3 and the Bengals nothing. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood 1.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part? Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit. Because shed happens.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Jane doesn't mind an apartment with no elevator.
5 flights of stairs is 5 plates of cardio.
Bob is a little less enthusiastic about stairs.
I hate stairs.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle renters and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Jane and Bob found an apartment that's a 4-story walk-up. And Bob?
Yeah, there's a freight elevator she doesn't know about.
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Westwood 1, your home for Sunday Night Football.
Get daily football news on the players and teams that matter to you on SiriusXM NFL Radio Channel 88 and the SiriusXM app.
Welcome back to Baltimore, Maryland, along with Ross Tucker. I'm Ryan Radke. Our score after 15 minutes of play, it's the Ravens 3 and the Bengals nothing. The start of the second quarter is sponsored by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy. Well, Ross, you were talking about how much the Ravens dominated that first quarter of play. 94 yards to just 14 for Cincinnati, 7 Baltimore first downs, only 1 for the Bengals, and yet just a 3-point lead.
Exactly, which is why they absolutely need to cash in on this drive with a touchdown. Here on 3rd and short, I wouldn't be surprised if this is 4-down territory. You know, with Lamar Jackson as a running threat, unless they lose yardage here, I think you got to look at this as 4-down territory. to try to get a statement and get up by 2 scores. Although, frankly, Ryan, with what they've done in the 2 home games so far, even getting up by 2 scores probably doesn't make the people here feel that great.
Yeah, that hasn't worked for them so far. It's 3rd and 2. Ball is at the Bengal 21. Jackson is in the gun with Mike Davis to his left. Duvernay goes in motion from left to right, now sprints back to the left side. Here's the snap, handoff, Duvernay, jet sweep, runs left outside the numbers, has a first down across the 15 and down to the 14-yard line. Logan Wilson makes the tackle. Ravens get into the hands of their playmaker Duvernay, who picks up 8 and moves the chains.
In a short yardage play, you have no chance of stopping these speed sweeps unless your defensive end gets penetration. He's really the only guy that can make the play to stop a 3rd and 1 like that when you give the ball to one of the fastest guys in the NFL on a lightning quick speed sweep around the edge.
2 carries, 19 yards for Duvernay. 1st and 10. Ball at the Cincinnati 14. Here's a give to Davis, running right side, takes it out to the numbers, spins, gets out of 1 tackle, and then is knocked down by Logan Wilson after a gain of about 3 to the 11-yard line. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Boy, Logan Wilson, he's one of those guys that is just everywhere on the field.
He's so good. I don't think people realize how good the Bengals defense is. They just have a bunch of good players. Wilson's so smart. Jesse Bates, who's playing under the franchise tag, came flying up as well. They just have very good players and an excellent D coordinator. And for the most part, they're young. Reeder is a stud. Trey Hendrickson, Mike Hilton, one of the best nickels in the league.
2nd down and 7 from the 11. Jackson back in the shotgun, waits, takes the snap, back to pass, looks to his right, looks to his left, now rolling right, being chased by Hendrickson, throws toward the corner of the end zone, incomplete. Well, Trey Hendrickson a couple of times tonight has been able to get back and put pressure on Jackson. Mark Andrews was in the area as Lamar threw that one away. And now a 3rd down and 7 coming up. Ross, we talked earlier about the Bengals defense, how underrated that they are. They have allowed 1 touchdown in their opponent's last 33 drives. This is where they find ways to stiffen up and keep people out of the end zone.
It's unbelievable. And I didn't really know a whole lot about this D coordinator, Lou Anarumo, until last year when they went on that playoff run and they played so well. He's a guy that should start to get talked about as a potential head coaching candidate. He's totally flipped the script on the Bengals D.
Shotgun snap to Jackson, back to pass, looking, throws left, Andrews wide open, makes the catch at the 5, turns it up and glides into the end zone. Touchdown Ravens. Mark Andrews made the catch on the left side, had no one in front of him, and waltzed in an 11-yard touchdown pass, and the Ravens lead 9-0 early in the 2nd quarter.
I just don't understand how that happens. I mean, they had an empty set. They ran a crossing route with Andrews from the right, and another receiver came the opposite direction. But if you're Trey Flowers, you can't just stop on Andrews. Trey Flowers thought they were in zone. Everybody else is playing man.
4th touchdown catch of the season for Andrews, and the Tucker extra point is up and good. 13 minutes, 26 seconds to go in the first half. Ravens have a 10-0 lead. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Hi, it's Billy Joel here. It's back.
I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life.
Music, stories, memories on my very own channel.
Want you just the way you are.
The Billy Joel Channel.
New shows, new stories for a limited time on Channel 105. And on the SXM app, free with all trials and popular plans.
SiriusXM presents an all-new channel, Law and Crime.
Hi, I'm Dan Abrams. I started Law and Crime to highlight the best live courtroom coverage with live legal analysis, as well as to create exclusive true crime programs. From high-profile trials to celebrity justice to murder mysteries, we're digging into, covering, and explaining the most fascinating parts of the legal world.
Law and Crime is available now on the SXM app, Channel 793, included with all trials and popular plans.
Beatles family.
This is Sean Lennon.
Friends and fans.
He played guitar, he sang, he did it all.
Come together for John Lennon's birthday.
All weekend, immerse yourself in the stories and sounds of a true music legend.
It's all true, folks. All you need is love.
Plus the premiere of an all-new series.
Diving deep into John's music.
Across the universe.
John Lennon's birthday weekend.
On the Beatles channel, Sirius XM 18 and in the SXM app.
Join me, Chris Childers, and former SEC stars like Aaron Murray.
Murray tries to sneak it in off the right side. Second effort. He gets in.
Matt Starks.
Touchdown! Gators! How much?
Colt Kubelik.
Auburn's going to win the football game!
And more. We're breaking down the top stories across the conference where it just means more on the SEC Today, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 Eastern on Sirius XM, SEC Radio Channel 374, and on the SXM app.
Nearly 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores and over 17,000 Napa Auto Care centers. Napa is the fuel that helps drivers like you get up and go. 7 plays, 50 yards, 2:55 off the clock, an 11-yard touchdown pass to Mark Andrews. And the Ravens have a 10-0 lead. For Lamar Jackson, his 12th touchdown pass of the year. He was tied for the NFL lead coming into today. And for Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown catch already this season. And the Ravens find the end zone to go up by 2 scores.
And I'm just stunned how often Mark Andrews is open like that. I thought it was a much better plan when the Bengals had a guy like Awuzie in press man coverage. That time it looked like Trey Flowers had no idea whether they were in man or zone coverage. It's a dropped coverage, it's a mental error, and it's unacceptable in pro football.
Tucker ready to send it deep, end over end boot. Evans moving to his right around the goal line, backs up into the end zone. He's got it, he's coming out. Across the 10, now to the 15-yard line. Near side numbers 20. Takes a hit and spins down at about the 23-yard line. It was Kevon Seymour, Geno Stone getting down there to make the stop. NFL Plus is here, which means no matter where you are, this is how you football. Go to plus.nfl.com and start your free trial of NFL Plus today. Well, the Bengals still looking to find any sort of rhythm offensively. It has been a real battle for them so far. Joe Burrow 4 of 6, but for just 22 yards. Cincinnati with 14 total net yards so far. They'll start this drive at their own 22 with Burrow in the gun, Mixon to his right. 2 receivers left, single man to the right. Burrow lifts his right leg, hands in front of his chest, takes the snap, handoff Mixon, starts left, jump cut to his right, and he gets out to about the 25-yard line. Tackle made by Malik Harrison, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 7. It looks like maybe the Bengals want to go up tempo here.
Very smart. Bengals need to change the flow of this game right now. Going to a no huddle is a great way to do it.
Slot left, single man right, Burrow back in the shotgun. 12 minutes, 56 seconds to go here in the second quarter. 10-0 Baltimore on top. Burrow will move Mixon from his right side to his left. Burrow back in the shotgun, left foot in front of right, takes the snap, back to pass, rush coming, and he's buried. Burrow had no chance to get away from Josh Bynes, who came knifing in and picks up his first sack of the year. 3rd and long coming up.
Really like that call by Mike McDonald, the D coordinator for the Ravens. Ravens show a 5-down look. What that means is every offensive lineman blocks the big guy across from them. Well, when Harrison drops, Collins has nobody to block, and Bynes comes in scot-free in the A-gap between the guard and the center.
Loss is 7 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 14. Burrow in the gun, twin receivers left and right. Samaje Perine in the game, one of those receivers to the left. Burrow takes the snap, he's back to pass, plants his feet, looks, throws short right, caught by Hurst along the numbers across the 25, and he gets taken out at the 30-yard line, a couple of yards shy of the first down. Demarion Williams, the rookie out of Houston, makes the stop, a gain of 12, but the Bengals will punt it away again.
Well, and that's what the Ravens are looking to do in that situation, right? You play a soft zone coverage, you let them catch the ball underneath, you rally the ball, you get them down, you get off the field. Another stuff for the Ravens D.
And Kevin Huber has had kind of a tough time punting so far tonight, trying to keep the ball away from Duvernay, who leads the NFL in punt return average. But Huber has had a couple of really short ones, giving the Ravens good field position. Huber, the veteran, waits, takes the snap under no pressure, Gets away a high spinning kick. Duvernay signals for a fair catch and makes it right around his own 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt, no return. And the Ravens will have it when we come back with 11:15 to go in the second quarter. It's Baltimore 10, Cincinnati nothing. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with the promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code WIN for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona 1-800-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Indiana, Kansas 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com. Louisiana 1-877-770-STOP. New York 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Wyoming, West Virginia 1-800-522-4700 or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
Scott Graham from our Westwood One studios. Look at the Week 5 scoreboard. Philadelphia is still unbeaten. They knocked off Arizona in the desert today, 20-17. It was Dallas over the Rams, 22-10. The New York Giants are 4-1. They beat Green Bay, 27-22 in London. Tampa Bay over Atlanta today, 21-15. It was Minnesota beating Chicago, 29-22. San Francisco 37, Carolina 15. New Orleans got a victory at home over Seattle, 39-32. Tennessee hangs on for a 21-17 win over Washington. Buffalo all over Pittsburgh, 38-3. New York Jets beat Miami today, 40-17. New England shut out Detroit, 29-0. It was the Chargers hanging on against Cleveland, 30-28. Houston beat Jacksonville, 13-6. We'll have all the details coming your way at halftime. Back now to Baltimore, Ryan Ratke and Ross Tucker.
All right, Scott, 11:15 to go here in the first half. Ravens on top by a score of 10-0. And Ross, this has really been all Baltimore so far in this game.
It has been a total dominating effort from the Ravens, but this really isn't anything new. I mean, this is what they've done so far this year. It's funny. It's almost like the Bengals want to get down one score, and then they'll have the Ravens right where they want them based on the comebacks by the Bills and the Dolphins, both of whom were down at least 17 points. So that is rare to be down 3 scores in the NFL and come back to win. Doesn't happen very often, and the Ravens have given up that lead twice. They know they need more points.
Ravens will start this drive at their own 29, 1st and 10. Jackson in the pistol, Drake behind him. Jackson now walks up toward the line of scrimmage. Going to communicate with his offensive line. Falls back into that pistol look. McCarry comes into the backfield to Jackson's right. They'll run the option play to the right side. Jackson outside the numbers, across the 35, over the 40, out to the 41. That's going to be a first down. Lamar Jackson takes it upon himself. Von Bell makes the stop, a gain of 12. Lamar Jackson now over 4,000 yards rushing in his career. The quickest quarterback ever to get to 4,000 yards. Game number 63 for Jackson. Michael Vick was the previous fastest to 4,000. Took him 87 games.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? Although I will say this. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, are the first team that ever really committed to the quarterback run game. You know, Vic, that was primarily scrambling.
No doubt about it. 1st and 10. Ravens at their own 41. Here's the snap. Jackson will hand it off. Drake knifing left across the 45, over the 50, into the secondary, and finally brought down to the Bengal 45. Jesse Bates on the stop, gain of 13, and the Ravens finding all kinds of running lanes up front.
I can't even tell you, as a former offensive lineman, how much I adore the Ravens rushing attack. You know, the different movement going left and right, the amount of pullers they have. Patrick Ricard, their 280-pound fullback, is a bad boy.
Hand off to Drake on first down, runs outside the left hash. Picks up a couple of yards to about the 43-yard line. Sam Hubbard on the stop. That'll bring up 2nd and 8. Well, you think about the Ravens offense, you think about the rushing game. Since Greg Roman became the offensive coordinator here in 2019, they have averaged about 177 yards per game on the ground. That's number 1 in the NFL.
You know, so many people do the same stuff, inside zone, outside zone. Because of the element that Lamar adds, it's just so neat to see how creative they are. You see a lot more of these plays at the college level.
2nd down and 8. They'll fake it to Duvernay on an end around. Jackson steps away from pressure, throws deep down the right side, and that's intercepted. Lamar airmailed his intended target, and Von Bell picked it off. He was looking for Robinson down around the 15-yard line. The pass was high and over his head, and Von Bell comes away with it. His 3rd interception of the year, and boy, did the Bengals need that.
And honestly, it's just a terrible pass by Lamar Jackson. Demarcus Robinson was wide open. They had exactly what they wanted, and Lamar just airmailed it. I think that's the word you used, Ryan, and it's perfect. I mean, he threw it 5 yards over the head of Demarcus Robinson. One of the easiest interceptions Von Bell will ever have. He had 2 last week. He already got 1 tonight.
Bell had 2 career interceptions before last week. Had the 2 last week, now 1 here tonight. And the Bengals will take over. They've had 3 straight 3-and-outs. They'll start this drive at their own 17. Burrow in the gun, takes the snap, handed off Mixon, trying to pick his way forward, bounces off the pile, runs right between the hash, across the 25, and he's out to the 26-yard line. So finally Mixon finds some running room, gains 9 before Owe can make the stop. That'll bring up 2nd and 1. Joe Mixon said this week he feels like the Bengals are close to getting their run game going, but they really have to find a way to get it going now.
Well, he called a meeting with the offensive line. You know, just the running backs and the offensive line to look at the run game and figure out what they can all do better, get on the same page. I like that.
Burrow in the gun on 2nd down and 1, takes the snap. He'll hand it off to Mixon again, drives straight ahead. Doesn't get much, but does get enough for the 1st down. Gain of 2 yards. Broderick Washington on the stop. Yeah, I was going to ask what you thought of that. Mixon said it was just a chance for them to look at film, for him to tell the offensive line, here's what I'm seeing. Ask the offensive line, what are you guys seeing on that? What do you make of that as a former O-line?
Well, you know, a lot of times you do that, but it's usually the offensive line coach or the running back coach that figures it's a good idea, right? It's not usually the player that calls it, but it's important to Mixon. He cares.
Bengals from their own 29, 1st and 10. Burrow under center, Chase in motion from right to left. Burrow now is going to stand up, and the Bengals are going to take a timeout. Something they didn't like there, and so Zach Taylor, the head coach, will spend time out with 8 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Ravens on top by a score of 10-0. Ryan Radke, Ross Tucker here in the Grainger broadcast booth in Baltimore. For all the jobs you do, count on Grainger for supplies and solutions that help you get more done. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by one of over 250 Grainger branch locations. Well, the Bengals trying to use that interception to fuel their offense and get something going. It has been a rough start for Cincinnati tonight. Started the season 0-2. Coming to tonight having won each of their last 2 games. Of course, the Bengals very easily could be 3-1. You go back to that Week 1 game where their long snapper got hurt and ended up falling in overtime to Pittsburgh. Burrow in the gun, takes the snap, holds it out, gives it to Mixon, running outside the left hash, across the 30, out to the sideline, 35, and Mixon's got a 1st down across the 40-yard line. Marcus Williams finally rides him down in the secondary, gain of 13, and after Mixon couldn't find any running room early, things starting to open up a little bit for the 6th-year man out of Oklahoma.
Isn't it unbelievable? And I know there are people that will tell you momentum is not a thing, but as soon as they get the interception, now all of a sudden they're getting man-on-a-man blocking up front, and they really have found something here. Could be good time for a play-action pass with the success they're having running the ball. Ravens have too many guys.
Yeah, they were trying to change personnel, and the flag goes down.
Prior to 12 men on the field, the defense, timeout, Baltimore.
So the Ravens will get bailed out there. Now, there was some confusion, players running on late, but the timeout taken with 7:23 to go here in the 2nd quarter. The NFL celebrates youth and high school football all year round, including both flag and tackle football. Visit playfootball.com to find a league near you. The future of football is here. Are you in? 5 carries, 25 yards now for Joe Mixon. Came into tonight averaging 2.73 yards per carry. That was last among qualified running backs in the NFL coming into this game. Bengals as a team averaging just over 3 yards per carry, 31st in the NFL.
Well, they're doing well on this drive, and they actually have an extra offensive lineman in for this play who started a bunch of games last year at right guard in Hakeem Adeniji.
Yeah, finished last year as a starter along that offensive line, the reshuffled offensive line. Bengals 1st and 10 from their own 41. Ball on the far side left hash. Burrow under center, takes the snap, drops back, quick throw, right side, caught by Chase along the numbers. He's out to midfield. Tackled there, but a flag goes down. Gain of 9 as it stands.
Prior to the pass, legal man downfield on the offense, number 71. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's Leo Collins, the right tackle, Ross.
A good call.
Had that play fake and got it out to Chase, and Collins got too far downfield.
Yeah, you only get 1.5 yards, and Leo Collins was about 3 yards downfield. It's a good job by the official to see that. That's the right call.
Bengals quickly out of the huddle, backed up 5 yards, their own 36, 1st and 15. Burrow in the gun, trips right, Chase single man to the left. Burrow toward the line of scrimmage, yells out instructions, falls back into the gun, lifts his right leg, takes a face mask high snap, back to pass, looks, throws right side, that's caught across the 45, breaking a tackle, 50, outside 45, down to the 40, 35, 30, and finally knocked out of bounds is Mike Thomas. Just his second catch of the season. Chuck Clark eventually knocks him out of bounds, but the Bengals get a big play, a gain of 33.
And as good as Marcus Peters was tackling earlier in the game, that's all on him. He had 2 nice tackles earlier, but as soon as Mike Thomas caught it, he spun out of the Marcus Peters tackle. Peters has to make that tackle right there. If you're not going to be able to make a play on the football, you should be close enough to bring the man down.
Bengals now from the Ravens 31, 1st and 10, 6:23 to go second quarter, 10-0 Baltimore. Burrow in the gun, trips left, single man to the right. Here's the snap. Burrow going to hand it off to Mixon, straight ahead. Big hole across the 25. Bounces out to his right, down to about the 21-yard line. And is wrapped up there by Patrick Queen. Looks like they're going to have him just shy of the mark. So call it a gain of 9. It'll bring up 2nd down and short.
It's truly remarkable. The Bengals couldn't do anything. I mean nothing until the Von Bell interception. Now they run a tackle trap. And Collins able to kick out Calais Campbell. That's one way to slow down defensive linemen, is to run inside traps like that. They get upfield, they take themselves out of the play.
2nd down and 1 yard. Burrow under center will just dive straight ahead himself and picks up the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. So Joe Burrow picks up 3. 1st down for the Bengals, who are in the red zone now, trailing 10-0 with 5:28 to go in the second quarter.
Ryan, do you know what Joe did right there?
The Tom Brady?
No, do you know what he did?
What did he do?
He burrowed. I'm telling you,
you're right.
This is not like a joke. Like,
you're right.
He burrowed.
He burrowed his way forward.
His way forward behind the offensive lineman in front of him.
Well done by you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Slot left, single man to the right. Chase is going to line up in the slot now with Boyd outside of him. Burrow in the gun, Mixon to his right, 1st down and 10. Burrow takes the shotgun snap. He's back to pass. Burrow looking, has time, throws down the middle. Hurst makes the catch at the 5, angles left, breaks out of a tackle, reaching for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. It's Hayden Hurst, the former Bengal, breaking a tackle and stretching the ball across the plane of the goal line. 19-yard touchdown pass, and the Bengals are on the board.
Well, it started with outstanding protection, and then Hurst was behind the second-level linebackers, but in front of the third-level safeties. Burrow put it right into him in that zone. Hurst broke the tackle of Deshaun Elliott, reached the ball across the plane. That was really impressive effort by Hurst, and he waves to the fans. Happy to be back in Baltimore.
2nd touchdown catch of the season for Hurst, and now Evan McPherson on for the extra point. Here's the snap, ball down. The kick from McPherson is on the way, and it is good. So 4:54 to go in the second quarter. Ravens 10, Bengals 7. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood 1.
Come on, we're going to be late to the cookout.
I was just packing up my famous mac and cheese.
I hope you packed the Pepto, too.
Huh?
Pepto-Bismol provides fast relief from heartburn and indigestion. You know, that uncomfortable feeling after you eat too much. And after the deviled eggs, baked beans, and barbecue ribs, you're going to need it.
Barbecue ribs? I should probably pack an extra shirt, too.
Good call.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto-Bismol. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Steve is intrigued by the paranormal.
Otherworldly spirits really make a house a home, you know?
Janice has different taste.
I'd like my house to not be haunted.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Steve and Janice found a renovated Victorian that's only haunted from 9 to 5.
Okay, wife's home. You're gonna bounce.
Bye, Steve.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? Our professional parts people will test it for free. If it does need to be replaced, we'll help you find just the right one to fit your car. Our Superstart batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Time to check the schedule of games coming up on Westwood One, sponsored by Hulu Plus Live TV. Tomorrow night, the Raiders are in Kansas City to face the Chiefs. On Thursday night, Washington visits Chicago, and next Sunday night, we'll be in Philadelphia as the Cowboys take on the Eagles. Did you know Hulu Plus Live TV has over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games? It also now comes with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. Live TV plan required. Restrictions apply. Access content from each service separately. Learn more at hulu.com. Well, after the interception, a 7-play, 83-yard drive, 4:24 off the clock. The touchdown pass to Hayden Hurst. I said former Bengal, obviously former Raven, was taken by Baltimore in the first round in 2018, played a couple of years here. And as Ross said, waving to the fans after he got into the end zone. He was questionable with a groin injury coming in tonight. You got the feeling that unless that groin was completely ripped off the bone, he was going to find a way to play in this game.
Yeah, and even if you leave on okay terms, you still want to stick it to your former team. Now, unfortunately, I pretty much never left on okay terms because they always fired me, but I definitely wanted to stick it to my former teams. I used to try to think about how I could somehow block a DB or a linebacker into the coaches on the sideline that had cut me.
Never left on good terms, huh?
It wasn't like we got in a fight or bad terms, but they kind of fired me. You know, it's always like, don't take it personal. Well, you're kind of personally firing me.
How do you
for my
not
job.
take that personally?
Yeah.
McPherson ready to kick it away from our left to our right. Duvernay waiting back in the end zone. End over end kick. Duvernay moving to his left to let this sail over his head, bounce in the end zone. And the Ravens will start at the 25. Log on to WestwoodOneSports.com every weekday during the NFL season for a brand new episode of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Listen at your convenience at WestwoodOneSports.com/Ross Tucker.
It's 30 minutes or less daily, Ryan. And tomorrow, as always on a Monday, I will review the Ravens press box food. Unbelievable. I mean, the Bang Bang shrimp, the orange chicken, beef and broccoli, and then all the sushi, and the fresh fruit's been amazing. Every TV timeout, I'm even getting some fresh fruit in me.
Ravens at the 25, play fake, quick swing out to the right side, caught by Duvernay along the sideline, and Devin Duvernay steps out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to put it. Looks like a yard shy of the first down at the 34, so a gain of 9 on that quick swing out to Devin Duvernay. Yeah, they go all out here in Baltimore. They have not disappointed in any way. Our producer, Mike Eby, had about 3 plates of sushi before the game.
Yeah, I was surprised that Eby went back for thirds on the sushi, but you might as well, that might be the first time I've ever had sushi in a press box, and it was actually delicious.
The lady who runs the buffet station out there now knows Mike Eby by name. Pistol formation here with Dobbins behind Jackson. McCarry in the backfield as well. 2nd and 1. Here's the snap. Handoff. Dobbins looking. Moves to his left. Picks up the first down. Tackled around his ankles from behind by Sam Hubbard after a gain of 3 yards out to the 37. Good enough for a Baltimore first down as we tick down inside 4 minutes to go in the first half. Ravens leading at 10-7.
That was a really good run by Dobbins because there was a lot of penetration from the Bengals, including 57, Jermaine Pratt. He found a way to cut that back up. He looks good. He looks healthy.
Shotgun snap. Jackson back. Looks left. Looks right. Looks left again. Backs up a couple of more steps. Now steps up. Throws left along the numbers. Caught by Prochet. And he's able to put a shoulder down into Mike Hilton and dive out to the 44-yard line. Gain of 7. Good protection up front. Gave Jackson time to scan the field. And he picks up Prochet to bring up 2nd down and 3.
2 thoughts. Number 1, I think that's what Lamar Jackson has improved upon the most. Buying time in the pocket and still delivering the football. Secondly, why do all the Ravens receivers have awesome last names? Duvernay, Prochet.
Here's a handoff to Dobbins, straight ahead along the left hash. May have lost the football. I think that ball did come out. Up at about the 47, there's a pileup. There's also a flag on the field. No official signal yet. Ball definitely got popped out of there. I think the penalty is going to be against Baltimore, and it looks like the Ravens got it back. Here's Scott Novak, the referee.
Legal shift on the offense. 2 players are moving at the same time. Did not reset. It's a 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So obviously the Ravens did recover the fumble. The penalty will back them up 5 yards.
Big difference between 2nd and 2 and 2nd and 7, although after a fumble like that, you're really just thankful that you still have the ball.
Ravens back at their own 39. Trips to the right, single man left. Jackson back in the gun. Kenyon Drake motions out to the right. Jackson looks that way, brings it down, now moving to his left. Jackson being chased. Jackson is going to be hit and thrown down by Pratt. Back around the 35-yard line. Great pursuit by Pratt, the linebacker. A 4-yard loss on the play. He would not give up and wrestles down Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that was awesome. He's basically spying Lamar Jackson. I don't know if they're calling him that or not, but he is, wherever Lamar is, he's about 3 yards off the ball, following and tracking him. You know, the spy's only as good, though, if he's fast enough to get Lamar, and Pratt was. I mean, Pratt was up to the occasion. He hawked down Lamar Jackson in the open field. What a play.
First sack of the season for Pratt. First sack for the Bengals tonight. 3rd and 12 now. Jackson back in the gun. Twin receivers left and right. Here's the snap. Jackson back. Blitz coming. Jackson hit from behind as he throws to the right side. That's caught and shoved out of bounds. Tylan Wallace short of a first down on the far side. Eli Apple was in coverage and knocked him out. It's a gain of 8, and the punt team is coming out. And we will have that punt when we come back because we have reached the 2-minute warning. Sponsored by Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser powers through tough household messes like magic, so it only looks like you spent hours cleaning. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, it makes cleaning look easy. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Ravens 10, Bengals 7. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood 1.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Did you know Hulu Plus Live TV is the ultimate entertainment package that you need this football season? It has over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games, plus Hulu's entire streaming library. On top of that, it now comes with Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. More content to watch. With unlimited DVR at no additional cost, you can record your favorite shows. It's like cable, only better. Live TV plan required, restrictions apply. Access content from each service separately and select ESPN Plus content via Hulu. Learn more at hulu.com.
New Jack Link's Barbecue Pork Tender Bites. A mouth-watering, sweet and savory bite-sized barbecue snack. Because if barbecue wants to be a flavor and a patio appliance, Jack Link's is good with it. Available at a Walmart near you.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
A reminder to stay with us for the Sunday Night Football halftime report on Westwood 1, sponsored by Jack Links. Our savory protein friends at Jack Links want to remind you, if you want to wear team-colored face paint while watching the game at home, Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you. Scott will check all the scores and highlights for Week 5 of the NFL season coming up at the half. Philadelphia Eagles remain undefeated today. Boy, a big one next Sunday night in Philly. Eagles and the Cowboys. Dallas winning again today with Cooper Rush at quarterback.
And I think there'll be a lot of intrigue all week as to who will be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. There have been a lot of reports that Dak was kind of targeting that October 16th matchup with the Eagles, but with the Cowboys winning every one of Cooper Rush's starts, you makes you wonder if they want to make sure Dak's totally 100% rather than risk anything. Rush has been holding it down.
Meanwhile, here, Jordan Stout on to punt on 4th and 4. Ravens leading 10-7. 2 minutes to go in the half. Trent Taylor waiting at the 10-yard line. Stout gets away a high spiraling kick. Taylor moving up, signals for a fair catch, and he's got it at his own 16-yard line. So that's where the Bengals will have it 1st and 10. The new era of Thursday Night Football is officially here, and the only way to watch it is on Prime Video. 41-yard punt, no return. So here come the Bengals now with 1:54, 2 timeouts left. down by 3. And remember, they have a great kicker in Evan McPherson.
Both teams do. This is incredible, by the way. As dominant as the Ravens have been, Bengals have a great chance to take the lead or at least tie it.
Yeah, you feel like this is a big drive for that Ravens defense because it would really be a letdown to go to the locker room tied or behind.
Absolutely.
Burrow in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, single man left. Here's the snap. Burrow back to pass. Looks, throws. That pass batted down, incomplete. Was looking for Tyler Boyd on the right sideline, but Jason Pierre-Paul able to get a hand up there and knock it down. Pierre-Paul playing in his second game for the Ravens. Made his Baltimore debut last week. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
He has done that so often in his career. In fact, he and Calais Campbell are 2 of the active leaders in passes defensed among defensive linemen. They are so good at reading the quarterback's eyes and getting their hands up, and JPP is calling for the fans to get louder.
Burrow in the gun, twin receivers left and right. Here's the snap. Burrow back to pass. Looks, throws right side. That one batted down, incomplete. It was Pierre-Paul again. Well, you were just talking about him. 2 plays in a row. He's gotten a hand up there to swat it away. 3rd and 10.
He is fired up. Came with the inside move on Collins, who is really struggling at right tackle. Terrific right arm club by JPP. Clubs Collins with the right arm. Then he gets the left hand up while Kappa's blocking him. Now the Ravens might get the ball back if they get a stop here.
Yeah, we probably have pretty good field position. Burrow in the gun, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left, shotgun snap. Burrow back to pass, dumps it off left side to Pirine along the numbers 30, across the 35, ducks his shoulder, diving across the 30-yard line for a first down. Out to about the 31, a gain of 14. Marcus Williams comes up to make the stop. So they are able to dump it off to Pirine, and he runs it out to the 31-yard line. Bengals up on the ball quickly, clock moving, 1:25 to go here in the first half. Burrow back in the shotgun, 3 receivers right, single man to the left. Here's the snap. Burrow back, looks right, looks left, throws it short left. Caught by Pirine across the 35-yard line, and he'll take it out close to the 39. Patrick Queen on the stop. Gain of about 8.5, and there's an injured Bengal down on the field. So they'll stop the clock with 1:09 to go here in the second quarter. That's going to force Cincinnati to use a timeout.
By the process of elimination, that's Jonah Williams, the left tackle, and that would be a tough blow.
He's a guy that has played every single snap this year for the Bengals, but he is down. We'll step aside. 1:09 to go in the second quarter. 10-7 Baltimore on top. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Gum Out Fuel Injector Cleaner can clean your entire system and help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, you can get 2 bottles for only $7. A great deal to help you go a good deal farther. Find Gum Out Fuel Injector Cleaner and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
When you love riding a motorcycle, you want to ride it everywhere, even to a physical.
Let's check your weight. Hop on the scale. Look at that. You're down a few pounds.
Oh yeah, must be the new carbon fiber wheels.
And when you love saving money, you want to save even more. That's why Geico makes it easy to bundle your motorcycle and car insurance.
I'm going to prescribe 91 octane for your engine knock, and we'll want to see you again in 3,000 miles.
Kickstart your savings with Geico Motorcycle. Bundle and save on the things you love.
Need to hire? What you need is a scouting partner like Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. The moment you post a sponsored job, you'll get instantly matched with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your job description. And you'll only pay for applications that meet your job's must-have requirements. Flag those that don't, and they'll be replaced for free with another candidate on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Every Westwood One college football broadcast this season is now available on all Alexa-enabled devices. Just say Open Westwood One Sports, and you'll be taken straight to the action. That's Open Westwood One Sports to listen on Alexa. Now, Jonah Williams, good news was he was able to get up and walk off the field under his own power. He's sitting on the bench. The trainers are talking to him. We won't speculate, Ross, but it is the dreaded non-contact injury. He was blocking and then just grabbed his knee and fell to the ground.
Right, so it wasn't a friendly fire or a situation where somebody fell into the side of his leg or back of his leg as he went to brace, as he was getting bull rushed by Owe. His right knee just gave out on him, Did not look good, just the way his leg came off the ground like that.
So a 2nd down and 2 for the Bengals. Ball at their own 39. Shotgun snap to Burrow. He'll hand it off. And straight ahead goes Samaje Perine all the way across the 45 out to the 47 before Chuck Clark can make the stop. That's a gain of 8. Bengals with 1 timeout left. Clock moving. 55 seconds to go first half. Burrow back in the shotgun. Perine to his left. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Burrow back to pass, looks right side, scans the field, swings it out left. Caught by Perine outside the numbers, cuts back in across the 50, breaks the tackle, he's over the 45, and close to a first down before Patrick Queen rides him down. They'll say that he's a yard shy at the 43. It's a gain of 9. Clock still moving, 33 seconds to go. Burrow in the shotgun, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right, 2nd and 1. Here's the snap. Burrow back to pass. Looks, throws down the middle. Got Boyd. Makes the catch across the 30. Diving over the 25. Down to the 24. And the Bengals will call timeout. With 23 seconds to go, Joe Burrow finding Tyler Boyd sitting down in the middle of that defense. They'll put the ball at the 25. It's a gain of 18.
The Bengals are having a lot of success in the middle of the field, in between the linebackers and the safeties. You know, that usually means the linebackers need to get a little bit more depth than they're getting on their drops. Now, calling a timeout there was the right thing, but that also enables the Ravens D-line to get a blow and to get some new guys in there. With the hurry-up, up-tempo that the Bengals have been on, the Ravens D-line was gassed.
That was the last timeout for the Bengals. From the Ravens 25, 1st and 10. Burrow takes the snap, back to pass, has time, looks, going deep, right side, got Thomas in the end zone, makes the catch. Did he get his feet down? No. Went up high, snatched it down, but it looked like only got 1 foot down in the end zone. It's incomplete. 2nd down coming up, 18 seconds to go. Thomas had a step on his defender.
Such a smart play by Marcus Peters. There's no more force out rule in the NFL. If you're on the sideline or the end line in the end zone and the guy jumps, just 2-hand shove that dude out of bounds. Love when players make smart plays like Peters right there.
And looking at the replay, Thomas didn't even get 1 foot down in bounds. The 1 foot that hit was in the white. 2nd down and 10 from the Raven 25. Burrow in the gun, takes the snap. Back to pass, throws short left side. Caught by Hurst, a leaping grab, and he's able to get out of bounds at about the 21-yard line to stop the clock with 13 seconds left. It's a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and 6. Again, no timeouts here for Cincinnati.
Really good effort by Marlon Humphrey to try to chop Hayden Hurst down in the field of play. Love the effort by Hurst to dive out of bounds. For the Bengals, this has to be an out-breaking route. If you're the Ravens, play outside leverage. If you tackle them in the field of play, they might not even have enough time to spike the ball.
Now the Ravens are going to take a timeout. They want to talk about what they want to do defensively here before this 3rd down play. 3rd and 7 as they officially marked Hurst out at the 22-yard line.
I always think that's a little bit interesting, right? Obviously, the Ravens want to say to their guys, hey, outside leverage. If we tackle them in the field of play, they're not going to get another snap off. There's probably not enough time for them to spike it. But you're also enabling the Bengals to make sure they tell everybody their stuff, right? So it really depends on how well prepared you think you are versus your opponent in the live situation, as opposed to having to call the timeout to make sure your guys know the right thing to do.
Chase will line up wide to the left. Only man on that side, 2 receivers right. Hurst is a wing to the right side. Burrow in the gun, 3rd and 7. Here's the shotgun snap. He's back to pass. Burrow looking, pumps, and he's just going to throw it away to the left side, incomplete. Had Perine out there. Nobody was open, though, so Burrow just smartly sailed the ball out of bounds. That'll bring out McPherson with 8 seconds left, looking to tie the game.
Really smart play by Burrow. And that's why when the Ravens called timeout, they made sure, did the Bengals, that Burrow knew the deal. If it's not there in the end zone, just chuck it away. You got a great kicker, tie this game up.
40-yard attempt for McPherson. It will come from the left hash. Huber, the punter, is the holder. McPherson, the 2nd-year man out of Florida, says he's ready to go. Huber waits on the snap, gets it down. The kick is on the way. It is right down the middle and good. So Evan McPherson boots it through from 40 yards out, and with 4 seconds left, this is a 10-10 game. With that field goal, Barbasol will make another donation to Kurt and Brenda Warner's Treasure House, a living community for adults with disabilities. Barbasol, the trusted choice for a close, comfortable shave. Close Shave America, Close Shave Barbasol. Well, Ross, we talked about it just a second ago. In a half that feels like the Ravens have largely dominated, to go to the locker room tied up has got to feel almost like they're behind.
Absolutely. I mean, once again, the Ravens have a double-digit lead, and this one has evaporated already by the end of the first half. That's got to be a very frustrating feeling. I mean, the good news is, I guess, you feel like you're getting the better of the action. The bad news is it's tied.
11-play, 62-yard drive. Don't forget, too, the Ravens had the Bengals backed up 3rd and 10. And Burrow was able to dump it off to Pirine, who picked up the first down, kept that drive alive. McPherson to kick it away. Duvernay is standing about 7 yards deep in the end zone. Here comes the kick. It's a ground ball down the middle, bouncing inside the 15, down inside the 10, picked up by Duvernay at the 8, runs to the 15, out to the near sideline across the 20, and he steps out of bounds with 1 second showing on the clock. Pirine got down to run him out of bounds at the 24-yard line, so you would imagine the Ravens will probably just snap the ball and take a knee here, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that Duvernay went out of bounds there. I mean, you know, your best bet there to probably have points of any kind is to try to make a play, stay in bounds. But obviously he saw there was nothing there, and the Ravens will just take a knee here.
And Lamar Jackson will walk up to the line of scrimmage. Backs off either hip. Jackson takes the snap, drops to his right knee. And it is halftime here in Baltimore, a 10-10 game. The Ravens dominating early, but Cincinnati storming back in that second quarter to knot it up.
Well, this is exactly what I expected. The two best teams in the AFC North, they know what's at stake. It's a gigantic game. Kudos to the Bengals for battling back.
That's the end of the first half here in Baltimore. With the score, the Ravens and Bengals tied at 10. When we return, Scott Graham rejoins us from our studios with the Jack Links halftime report. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
I used to get frequent heartburn at night, so I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine.
1 pill in the morning, 24 hours, 0 heartburn with Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
You could save big when you bundle your home, auto, and other vehicles with Progressive. Now that we've covered something you could do, it's time for sports stuff you definitely could not do.
You could not have hit that field goal. Sorry, but it's true. 37 yards doesn't sound very far, but you'd be lucky to cover even a fraction of that. And that's in perfect conditions without 11 giant men trying to fold you like origami.
But you definitely could save big when you bundle your home, auto, and other vehicles with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situation.
Getting a tattoo of your team's mascot on your arm and your back and your face. Who's the mascot now? Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you.
Welcome to the Sunday Night Football Halftime Report on Westwood One, sponsored by Jack Links. Our savory protein friends at Jack Links want to remind you, if you want to wear team color face paint while watching the game at home, Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you. Once again, here's your host, Scott Graham.
From our Westwood One studios, we have reached halftime in Baltimore, and this very much feels like an AFC North game now. Cincinnati Bengals have come back to tie the Ravens 10-10 at the break. Taking a look around the league here in week number 5, chance for one team to remain undefeated to spoil the day of the 72 Dolphins and Mercury Morris. Philadelphia Eagles in the desert taking on the Arizona Cardinals. They had a 14-0 lead at Philadelphia, but Arizona came back and got the game tied. Philly got a late field goal from their replacement kicker. Both starting kickers were hurt for this ball game, but Arizona came down the field, and they had an opportunity to tie this one before the clock ran out.
43-yard attempt. The ball is spotted. The kick is underway, and the kick is no good. It's no good. It is wide right. No good. He missed it. The officials hesitated, and he missed it. The Eagles are going to be 5-0. He missed it. He's no Cameron Dicker.
No, he's not. He is Matt Amendola. That's Merrill Reese and Mike Quick on Sports Radio 94 WIP. 2017, the final. Philly 5-0. Arizona is 2-3. And for Philly, they've got a team nipping right at their heels inside the division and setting up a heck of a matchup here next Sunday night. Dallas went on the road today, beat the Rams 22-10 the final. Cooper Rush still unbeaten as the starting quarterback in 5 tries for the Dallas Cowboys. He didn't throw a touchdown today, but also didn't throw an interception. Tony Pollard, a big 57-yard touchdown in this one as Dallas improves to 4-1. The Rams, well, the defending champs have some issues right now. Matthew Stafford threw for 308. Cooper Kupp had a big day, but the Rams are now 2-3. Hey, how about the New York Giants? They are now 4-1 as well after taking care of business today in London. They beat the Green Bay Packers, coming from 17-3 down to win 27-22. Saquon Barkley had himself a touchdown in this game, not a surprise there. Daniel Jones did not throw for a touchdown or run for a touchdown, and yet might have been his best game as a Giants quarterback. On the other side, the other quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, threw for 2 scores on the day. Here's what he had to say after the loss.
We get to handle adversity a little bit better. We're a little bit of a roller coaster team at times. Our best teams have been a little bit more steady. So we got to find that rhythm and that steadiness. We got to get back and get healthy and get rested. We got a home game that we'll probably be favored in against the Jets. And we got to go back and refocus.
3-2 on the year now for the Green Bay Packers. Also 3-2 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's because Tom Brady never loses to the Atlanta Falcons. Never has in his career, still hasn't. Now 11-0 against them after a 21-15 win today. Brady threw for 351 on the day today. Atlanta was down 21-0 in this one. They scored 15 points, and then as they were trying to get the football back again to make a run at winning the ball game, a strange call of roughing the passer as Brady was knocked down, and replays didn't necessarily bear that out. Atlanta falls to 2-3 on the year. Big day again today for Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. He had 12 catches for 154 yards. Minnesota beat Chicago 29-22. Kirk Cousins actually had the game-winning touchdown run at the 2:26 mark for now the 4-1 Minnesota Vikings. Chicago got a better offensive day out of Justin Fields. David Montgomery was back. The Bears are now 2-3. San Francisco coasted today against Carolina 37-15, the final at Bank of America Stadium. Jimmy Garoppolo throws for a couple of touchdowns. Jeff Wilson 120 yards and a score on the day as the Niners improved to 3-2. Baker Mayfield and company still haven't figured it out yet. Carolina is now 1-4. Big time game today with lots of scoring in Louisiana. New Orleans beat Seattle 39-32. Alvin Kamara made an appearance today, but the real news was Taysom Hill. 3 rushing touchdowns and a passing touchdown for the 2-3 Saints. Geno Smith played well with 3 more touchdown passes today, 2 to Tyler Lockett, but Seattle falls to 2-3 on the year. And Tennessee held off Washington, made an interception near the goal line as time was expiring in their game. They got Carson Wentz, they got the football, they got the win, beating Washington today 21-17. Derrick Henry had a touchdown. Ryan Tannehill threw for 1 on the day as Tennessee improves to 3-2. Wentz threw 2 touchdown passes, but also that key interception in the game. Washington now 1-4. Our halftime score, Cincinnati 10, Baltimore 10. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
For the end zone, he throws and it's caught. Touchdown!
For the first time, every NFL team on the SXM app features your team's pre- and post-game show. Live updates before games, post-game interviews, and press conferences after every game.
Really excited for our group, man. That was varsity ball today.
Now, your favorite team's broadcast includes their pre- and post-game shows all season long on the SXM app. All 32 team channels are also available in vehicles equipped with SiriusXM 360L radios.
NFL fans, right now on the SXM app, hear in-depth coverage of your team with the Believe Podcast Network on SiriusXM. It's all the analysis, all the breakdowns that matter to you, hosted by the players who played for your team and the fans who eat, sleep, and breathe it. 32 diehard fan bases, 32 podcasts. The Believe Podcast Network on SiriusXM. BLEAV. Search Believe in, followed by your team on the SXM app, Pandora, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
If Big 12 football runs deep in your veins, then SiriusXM Big 12 Radio is where you need to be. We're talking conference and team previews, live games, news, and analysis from experts like Holly Rowe, Dusty Dvorak, Fozzie Whitaker, and Gabe Eichert, coaches shows, championship specials, and more. Get inside Big 12 football like nowhere else. Feed your fandom on the SiriusXM app. Stay up to date anywhere you go. Just download the app to start streaming.
3, 2,
lot more of those big trophies.
Listen to SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 and on the SXM app, included with all of our trials and popular plans. Sunday, we're back on the track
At 1:30 p.m. Eastern.
with NASCAR Cup Series Racing. It's the South Point 400 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio
Channel 90.
I hyper-focus on doing my job.
What up, everybody? This is Brandon Marshall. Tune in to I Am Athlete tonight, weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One from the Progressive Insurance Studios. I'm Scott Graham. Progressive Insurance gives you protection on the phone, online, or on the app 24/7 because things happen 24/7. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Tie game in Baltimore at halftime. Earlier today in the AFC, the Buffalo Bills got a chance to play their second home game. They like Highmark Stadium, and they proved it really early on.
Snap. Josh handles it. Back to throw. Pocket collapsing. Fires a deep one downfield looking for Gabe Davis. Makes the catch at midfield. He's going to sail into the end zone. Gabe Davis at the 20, at the 10. Touchdown. Holy mackerel, 98 yards. Touchdown, Gabe Davis on 3rd and 10 at their own 2. That's a way to start. Holy mackerel.
John Murphy, WGR Sports Radio 550 in Buffalo. Davis, 3 catches today for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen threw 4 scores. Buffalo beat Pittsburgh 38-3. The Bills now 4-1. Pittsburgh is 1-4. How about the New York Jets? They've got a 3-2 record. They beat up on Miami today at MetLife Stadium, 40-17. 5 rushing touchdowns for New York for the first time since 1993. On the other side, Miami lost Teddy Bridgewater. He was out in the concussion protocol early in this game. Skylar Thompson, rookie 7th-round pick out of Kansas, had his first NFL action for the 3-2 Dolphins. New England shut out Detroit today 29-0. I said it, 29-0. How about that day? Bailey Zappi getting his first start as a quarterback for New England, who improves to 2-3 on the year. Detroit falls to 1-4. Chargers beat Cleveland 30-28 today. Cade York missing on a potential game-winning field goal from 54 yards out with 11 seconds to go. Austin Eckler, a pair of touchdowns. Justin Herbert threw for 1. Chargers now 3-2 on the year. Cleveland falls to 2-3. And if you're the Jags, even in a improved season, you don't want to play Houston. They lost to the Texans for the 9th straight time today. Texans beat them at TIAA Bank Field, 13-6 the final score. Houston winning for the first time this year. They're 1-3-1. Jacksonville is 2-3 on the season. This has been the Sunday Night Football Halftime Report on Westwood One, sponsored by Jack Links. Our savory protein friends at Jack Links want to remind you, you want to wear team-colored face paint while watching the game at home? Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you. Our halftime score, Cincinnati 10, Baltimore 10. We'll return. Ryan Radke and Ross Tucker will have the second half kickoff. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
This NFL season, Thursday Night Football is now Amazon's Prime Night of Football, because every Thursday Night Football game is now only on Prime Video. This season, watch all of your favorite NFL teams, all of your favorite NFL players, all competing in one place. Prime Video, the new exclusive home for Thursday Night Football. Not an Amazon Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. We'll see you Thursday. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Get what you want and pay over time when you use your Lowe's Advantage Card. Now through October 26, 2022. Ask for 0% APR with 36 fixed monthly payments on a product installation or appliance purchase of $1,000 or more. Shop for the appliances you want in-store or online. Or go to the store nearest you for installation. Now at Lowe's. Offer subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store Lowe's.com for details. U.S. only.
Ryan Radke, Ross Tucker back in Baltimore. Bengals and Ravens tied at 10. Let's check the halftime stats. Sponsored by Indeed. Do you need to hire? Indeed is with you every step of the way, helping you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Well, it was all Ravens early, but the Bengals actually ended up outgaining Baltimore in that first half, 172-165. In the battle of the young quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, 12 of 18, 139 yards and a touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 10 of 17, 87 yards and a TD. Also had one bad pick. One note on Burrow, almost all of his completions going to tight ends and back. So, Ross, as we look ahead to the second half, what are you looking for from these teams? What will decide this game tonight in your mind?
Well, I think for the Bengals, I'm looking for them to continue with the up-tempo offense. They were much better when they went with the no huddle because the Ravens couldn't be as exotic defensively. Burrow got rid of the ball quicker, and the Ravens tired out. For the Ravens, get back to the running game. They were running the ball very effectively. It felt like they tried at times to get away from it, and that's when they had some incompletions. Lamar throwing the ball away, and of course, that one costly pick that changed the entire first half.
All right, time for the start of the second half, sponsored by Prilosec OTC. Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production that can cause heartburn. One pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief. Ravens will get the ball to start the second half. Evan McPherson will kick it away from our right to our left. Bengals in the white jerseys, black pants. Ravens in all black tonight. And McPherson with a high, short kick over towards the far sideline. That'll bounce inside the 20, bounce right to the sideline and out of bounds. So Devin Duvernay letting that one bounce out of bounds. And the Ravens will have good field position at the 40-yard line. Well, the Bengals, whether it's punting or kicking off, have been very wary of getting the ball into Duvernay's hands. He's become one of the best return men in the NFL.
He's a weapon, and right there, that's hidden yardage. To get the ball at the 40-yard line, such a smart play, by the way, by Duvernay to step out of bounds before he gathered the football. Really, all you have to do is put 1 foot out of bounds as you grab the football. Even if the ball's still on the field of play, if you're out of it, that's a penalty. You get the ball at the 40. He's been coached well.
So Lamar Jackson will start in the pistol. J.K. Dobbins behind him. Macari, the fullback, motions out to the right side of the line. Jackson waits, takes the snap, turns, play fake, rolling right, pressure, pump fakes, backing up, chased by Hubbard. Outside the numbers, Jackson toward the sideline, has to throw it away. And again, a great job by Sam Hubbard, Ross, just keeping contain on Lamar Jackson and forcing him to get rid of it.
So good, so smart. And once again, the lack of success for the Ravens on first down passes has to be troubling. Hubbard read that. He read that it was a pass. He was not fooled, and he was right in Lamar Jackson's face. They're so used to getting chunk plays on first down play action pass, and so far, the Bengals have been up to the occasion.
Zach Taylor said about Sam Hubbard, he's relentless. He was relentless on that play. Second down and 10, Ravens from their own 40. Jackson in the gun. 3 receivers right, including Andrews. Single man left. Here's the snap. Handoff. Dobbins hit immediately in the backfield. Gets away from the first man. Out across the 45-yard line. Still going near midfield. Pile being shoved forward. Across the midfield stripe for a first down. Bengals had a chance. It was Hubbard again. It was in the backfield who hit Dobbins immediately. He ducked away from Hubbard and then just got some help getting shoved forward. Gains 11 down to the Cincinnati 49.
I can't believe that. They didn't block Hubbard because they thought he'd be responsible for Lamar Jackson, but they came with a corner blitz with Hilton. So Hubbard was allowed to close on the running back, and Dobbins, that 5'10", 215-pound muscle hamster, just shrugged him off.
Here's the snap to Jackson, handed off Dobbins again. This time he is wrapped up and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Cam Sample got his arms around him and brings down Dobbins for no gain. Second and 10. I'm sorry, that was Muscle Hamster.
Remember Doug Martin from the Bucks?
I do.
They used to call him, that was his nickname. He hated it. The Muscle Hamster, just didn't like it.
Hamster.
That's kind of what Dobbins reminds me of with the way he runs so powerfully at about 5'9", 215.
Kenyon Drake in the backfield now off to the left of Jackson. Officially a loss of 1 on the play, so second down at 11.
Bengals showing pressure here, but by their posture, I think they're dropping out.
Jackson takes the shotgun snap, back to pass, looking, going deep down the middle of the field. Got Duvernay open, incomplete, just overthrew him by a step. Boy, 2 Bengals back there, but Duvernay had him beat, and that throw from Lamar Jackson just a shade too long. 3rd and 11 coming up.
It's a bad throw. Yeah, it's another bad throw by Lamar. That's got to be a touchdown. It's a deep post. He's wide open. If Lamar just puts it more in the middle of the field rather than back over Duvernay's right shoulder, that's an easy touchdown for the Ravens.
Ravens 2 of 5 on 3rd down tonight. Shotgun snap. Jackson back, throws over the middle, caught by Andrews. Hit, trying to get away and can't do it. Drags a tackler down to the 40-yard line. shy of the first down by a couple. Of Rouzier on the stop, and the fans already saying, let's go for it. It looks like John Harbaugh is agreeing. They're going to keep the offense on the field for 4th down and about 2 yards.
I like this decision. It's kind of no man's land, right? It's a 58-yard field goal for Tucker. He can probably do it, but that's pretty far. And with their rushing attack, at a minimum, this should be a hard count. Wouldn't be surprised if Lamar's legs are involved one way or the other.
They need to get across the 39 for a first down. Jackson in the gun. Dobbins to his right. Andrews walked up under center like he was going to take the snap. Now motions out to the right. Here's the snap. Jackson back under pressure. Deep down the right side for Wallace. Incomplete. Tylan Wallace was running free down the right sideline. He had Eli Apple by about 4 yards. And again, the throw was long, and the Ravens turn it over on downs.
Lamar Jackson can't believe it. That's not where the ball was supposed to go, but Wallace ended up being wide open, nobody within 8 yards, and Lamar Jackson just airmailed it again.
Ravens waste good field position. Bengals will have good field position when we come back. 12:31 to go in the third quarter, tied at 10. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
If ACC football runs deep in your veins, then SiriusXM ACC Radio is where you need to be. We're talking conference and team previews, live games, news, and analysis from experts like Chris Patola, Roddy Jones, and Torrey Holt, coaches shows, championship specials, and more. Get inside ACC football like nowhere else. Feed your fandom on the SiriusXM app. Stay up to date anywhere you go. Just download the app to start streaming.
From sea to shining sea, no one covers MLS like SiriusXM FC. From the Big Apple
Maxey on his feet, and he shoots and scores! New York City in the lead.
to the Wild West,
Chicharito, 2-0 Galaxy.
Miami Beach,
into the lead.
to the Canadian Tundra.
Jonathan Osorio! It's 1-0 for Toronto FC.
Listen to your favorite MLS team all season long on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app.
Hey, what's going on? It's Big 12 Radio's Ari Temkin and a graduate of the University of Kansas.
And I'm former Iowa State Cyclone quarterback Dave Archer.
First reminder that we're talking about this game and all the others across the Big 12 every weekday, 7 to 10 Central on Big 12 Radio.
We both lived and died, whether it was Big 8 or Big 12. Now we get to talk about it with you.
Yeah, if you're thrilled and elated through a win or you're broken from a loss.
Week-long coverage of your favorite team, and we'll make sure you're ready for the next Saturday.
If you've got the passion for the Big 12, we've got you covered.
We'll see you soon on SiriusXM Channel 375.
Buckle up and get ready to belt it out. Turn your car into a full-blown karaoke party with the Poppin' Road Trip mixtape. All styles, all eras, all pop. It's about damn time. Road Trip Radio's Poppin' Road Trip mixtape, exclusively in the SXM app. Free with all trials and popular plans. Just search Road Trip.
Or own Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy. Well, the Ravens waste good field position. And now the Bengals will take over at their own 41, 1st and 10. 10-10 game with 12:31 to go in the third quarter. Burrow lines up under center with Mixon behind him. 2 receivers right, single man to the left. Burrow surveys that defense, brings Chase in motion from the right. Burrow takes the snap, back on a play fake, sets his feet, looking, throws deep down the middle, and it's intercepted by Queen. Patrick Queen back across the 50 and knocked down in Bengal territory. Chase was the intended target, but Patrick Queen got underneath it, and as his first INT of the year, he's had a couple of chances, dropped a couple. That one he hangs on to, and the former Joe Burrow teammate at LSU has the pick to set the Ravens up with good field position again.
Boy, I don't understand that one at all. And honestly, somebody would have to ask Joe Burrow what he was looking at. It's a clear zone coverage. Queen drops underneath the curl route by Chase, and Joe Burrow throws it right to him. I mean, that is stunning. That's one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. He just threw the ball right to his former college teammate like he didn't see him. Burrow came across just shaking his head. He knows it. But I don't know how that ball comes out of his hand right there.
5th interception of the year thrown by Burrow. And now the Ravens will take over at the Bengal 46, 1st and 10. Jackson in the gun, 2 receivers stacked left, single man to the right. Crochet in motion to the right. Here's the snap. Jackson back off his back foot, throws deep down the middle of the field, incomplete. Duvernay was running out there against Eli Apple, but that throw was well short. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Lamar Jackson now just 11 for 22 throwing the ball tonight. 95 yards. He's had some opportunities, Ross, on that 4th down play to end the last drive. He wanted to go to Andrews in the flat. They covered him up. Then tried to go deep, had a man wide open and just overthrew him.
Even that play right there could have been a big play. You got Duvernay working against Eli Apple. He couldn't step into the throw, but if he could and gave Duvernay a chance, that could have been a big play.
2nd down 10 from the 46. Here's a give to Duvernay on the jet sweep out to the left sideline across the 45, and he gets upended out there. At about the 42, maybe the 41, Von Bell comes up to make the tackle after a gain of 5. And a 3rd down now for the Ravens with 12 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter in a 10-10 game.
If you happen to be watching this game while you're listening to Ryan and I, because you can stream us, you got to watch the fullback for the Ravens, number 42, Patrick Ricard. I just love watching him. He is a weapon as a blocker in space.
3-time Pro Bowler. 3rd down and 5 from the Cincinnati 41. Here's the shotgun snap. Jackson back, swings it out right side, caught by Kenyon Drake, but he's tackled right around the line of scrimmage by Von Bell. Boy, great job by Bell getting out there, nowhere to go. And on 4th down, Justin Tucker is coming out.
Back-to-back impressive tackles in the open field by Von Bell. Man, is this guy having a couple games. The 2 interceptions against the Dolphins, what he's doing now in this game with the interception and back-to-back open field tackles where it looked like the Ravens had more.
Justin Tucker is coming out for what is going to be a 58-yard field goal attempt. He has made 51 career field goals of 50-plus. Bengals shifting up front. Here's the snap, ball down. Tucker's kick is on the way, end over end, and it is good. Justin Tucker nails it from 58, and that puts the Ravens back in front. 13-10 Baltimore, and Tucker just raises his hands and looks up into the stands as if to say, was there ever a doubt? One of the best kickers in NFL history hits the long field goal, and Baltimore leads by 3. With that field goal, Barbasol will make another donation to Kurt and Brenda Warner's Treasure House, a living community for adults with disabilities. Barbasol, the trusted choice for a close, comfortable shave. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol.
We almost take him for granted, but we shouldn't. It's just insane. I mean, you think about the NFL every week. We're sitting here, Ryan, you and I, watching the Eagles-Cardinals game. Cardinals kicker comes in. It's not a long field goal. Totally pushes it right. The Eagles win. Unbelievable to have a guy like Tucker that it seems like he never misses. I know every once in a while he does, but you're almost shocked when he misses.
Well, I was just going to say, he is the guy that when he misses, even from a distance like that, you're surprised because he has come through so many times for this team. I want to talk about the great undrafted free agents in NFL history. Justin Tucker is up there as he sends this end-over-end kickoff deep. Chris Evans will let it sail over his head into the end zone, and the Bengals will start at the 25. Tune in to watch all the excitement of the NFL next Sunday on Fox. Check your local listings for games and times in your area. Catch the NFL on Fox. So the Bengals will go back to work here, now trailing 13-10, 10:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. Good news for the Bengals. Their starting left tackle, Jonah Williams, who left with a knee injury in the first half, is back in there. Bad news for the Bengals. T. Higgins, who is questionable coming in with an ankle injury, is out of the game and questionable to return. He has not been targeted one time tonight. Burrow back in the shotgun, 1st down and 10. Here's the snap, holds it out, gives it to Mixon, driving straight ahead along the right hash. He gets a nice push and churns his legs forward out close to the 30-yard line. Calais Campbell, the veteran, on the stop. Call it a gain of 4 to the 29, 2nd down and 6.
I really think the Ravens are in trouble, Ryan. I'll tell you why. The Bengals are starting to get a pretty good push in the run game, and they're getting a good 4 to 7 yards on these runs. which will open up things in the passing game as well for Burrow. I'd stick with the run if I'm the Bengals, the way they're running it.
2nd down and 6. Burrow back, quick pass right side. Oh, that is caught by Hayden Hurst. A back shoulder throw, and Hayden Hurst with full extension snares it on his fingertips and is out of bounds at the 37. Peters in coverage, a gain of 8, and that is a tremendous catch by the Cincinnati tight end.
Yeah, and that is really gutsy by Burrow. I mean, you're going to a tight end who's a good player, but he's bounced around a little bit from Baltimore to Atlanta, now Cincinnati, going against Marcus Peters, who's got more interceptions and touchdowns than anybody going back 2015. That's Burrow showing a lot of faith in his big guy.
5 catches, 47 yards, and a touchdown for Hurst in his return to Baltimore. Here's the snap. Burrow hands off on 1st down. Mixon running left, and not much there this time. Falls forward, gets a yard out to the 38. Roderick Washington, 3rd-year man out of Texas Tech, wraps him up. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 9. We talked earlier about the run troubles for the Bengals, but prior to that run, Joe Mixon was averaging over 5 yards per carry. He's right at 5 yards per carry right now in the game.
I don't know what Lyle Collins is doing at times, but boy, so far that's been a really poor free agent signing for the Bengals. That was his fault again.
Bengals 2nd and 9 from their own 38. 2 receivers, right, 1 left. Shotgun snap to Burrow. Quick throw, right side, caught by Boyd on the numbers. Avoids the first tackler, gets across the 40, and he's out to the 44-yard line before he is wrapped up. Jason Pierre-Paul on the stop, a gain of 6. And now 3rd and short coming up. Demarion Williams was also there for Baltimore.
So fun for me, Ryan, to watch Tyler Boyd out there. Called all 3 of his state championship games in Pennsylvania, and he just glided all around the field as his Clairton Bears won 3 state championships in Hershey.
Bengals just 1 of 6 on 3rd down. This is 3rd and 3 from the 44. Boyd in short motion from the left, 1 of 3 receivers to that side. Ravens showing blitz up the middle. Burrow claps his hands, takes the snap, back to throw. Burrow looking, going deep right side. A lot of contact, flag down. Pass overthrown. Chase got tangled up out there with the defender. And this is going to be a pass interference call. It was Marcus Peters who can't believe that the marker was thrown.
Pass interference. Defense number 24. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul and an automatic 1st down.
Well, Ross Peters is arguing that he just got his feet tangled with Chase. See what you think as you get a look at the replay here.
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, it felt to me like he was beat and it was desperate times called for desperate measures, and he kind of reached out. There might have been a little bit of incidental contact, but that was one of those where it looked like intentional incidental, if that makes sense. I've always thought that if I played DB, I would have perfected that. The intentional incidental contact.
Move it to the Ravens' 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bengals, trailing 13-10. 8:07 to go in the 3rd quarter. Burrow in the shotgun, takes the snap, back to pass, swings it out right side, caught by Mixon just outside the numbers, cuts back in across the 35-yard line, and down to the 34 for a gain of 4. Malik Harrison on the stop. 2nd and 6. To go back to your incidental, intentional, it did look like Peters kind of threw that right foot out there a little bit, like he was going to make sure he got a piece of Jamar Chase.
Right, and honestly, it's kind of genius because you might get away with it, right? I mean, he didn't trip him, he did it from behind, but it seemed like a smart play, but it was so blatant in that instance they had to call it.
Burrow in the gun, slot left, single man to the right. Hurst goes in motion from left to right. Here's the snap to Burrow. Handoff Mixon. Jump cut to his left. Big hole along the hash marks across the 30, down to the 25, and near the 24 for a 1st down. So Joe Mixon patiently waiting for a hole that open up. Picks up 10. Moves the chains before Brandon Copeland could make the tackle along with Patrick Queen.
I don't recognize this Ravens run defense, but they've lost a lot of guys over the years. You know, Brandon Williams isn't here anymore. Michael Pierce is on IR. Derek Wolfe isn't here anymore. And these guys are not getting it done up front.
Burrow in the gun, slot left, single man right, 1st and 10. Football at the Ravens 24. Mixon lined up to Burrow's right. Here's the snap. Burrow on a play fake, throws right side, incomplete. Looking for that back shoulder to Chase, who continued down the sideline with Peters in coverage. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Not on the same page there. You know, when it's man-to-man coverage like that for a receiver, if you get on top of the corner, you're usually thinking that the quarterback's going to throw the ball over the top on a go route. If you're even with the corner, usually it's a back shoulder throw. Chase thought he'd be throwing it over the top because he thought he had a step on him. Burrow thought it was back shoulder, now on the same page.
Samaje Perine checks in now, lined up to Burrow's right in the backfield. 2nd and 10 for the Ravens 24. Shotgun snap, Burrow gives it to Perine, straight ahead. He's across the 20-yard line and down to about the 19. 3rd down play coming up, gain of about 4, maybe 5. Brent Urban on the stop. And we'll see what the Bengals could do here. It is interesting when you look at Burrow throwing the ball tonight. We mentioned it at halftime. Tyler Boyd just 2 catches. Jamar Chase just 2 catches. And outside of 1 down the field to Boyd, the rest of them have all been right around that line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 6. Ball is at the 20. 3 receivers left. Chase singled up to the right side, matched up against Peters. Burrow in the gun, lifts his right leg, takes the snap, back to pass, looking to his left, looking, now throws short right. Perine leaps up, makes the catch, breaks a tackle, diving ahead, looks like he's got the 1st down. There's a flag down in the secondary. That was over where Chase and Peters were battling. Malik Harrison makes the stop. As of now, it'll be a 1st down. We'll find out about the marker from Scott Novak.
Legal use of hands. Hands to the face on the defense, number 24. That penalty's declined. 1st down.
So once again, Joe Burrow checks it down to a back. Picks up the 1st down. Peters trying to get physical with Chase on the outside. The flag was against him.
Well, it was declined anyway. Although, honestly, they both went to each other's face a little bit. But Peters had man-to-man coverage. That's tough. Really, really asking a lot of him.
So the ball down inside the 15-yard line of the 13, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, quick pass, left side, caught by Chase. Inside the numbers, and he is spilled for a loss on the play. Damarian Williams, the rookie out of Houston, came in to make the stop back at about the 14-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down at 11. That's 3 catches, 10 yards for Jamar Chase tonight. You go back to week 1, Ross, he had 10 catches for 129 yards. In the 3 games since coming into tonight, 15 for 164. Teams have been able to take him away.
They really have. He's Offensive Rookie of the Year last year.
11th play of this drive coming up. 2nd down and 11 from the Ravens 14. Burrow in the shotgun has the snap. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Burrow spins out to his left. Gets outside the numbers. Throws to the sideline. And Hurst makes the catch before he steps out of bounds. They're going to mark him out, it looks like, right at about the 9-yard line. So Burrow able to dump that one down for a gain of 5. And now a 3rd down play coming up. So it'll be 3rd down and about 5, maybe 6 yards to go here for Cincinnati, trailing 13-10 with 4:44 to go in the 3rd quarter.
I know Joe Cool is taken, and that's Joe Montana, but boy, that's what Burrow reminds me of. And on this play, he's looked at Hurst a lot. Hurst is to his left, man-to-man coverage against Marlon Humphrey. Let's see if he goes back to the Hurst well.
From the 8-yard line, 3rd down at about 5.5. Burrow back, looks, throws left side for Hurst. Incomplete, flag down. Was waiting to see if one would come out. Kyle Hamilton, the rookie, was matched up against Hurst, never got his head around, and it looks like a pass interference penalty.
Defense number 14. Ball be placed as part of the foul and an automatic 1st down.
It's a good call, and you know what? I thought it was 44 Humphrey. It was 14 Hamilton, and Hamilton just pushed him as the ball was getting there. You know, Hamilton had perfect coverage there. That's a great example of a rookie just panicking. Hamilton panicked. He had him. He didn't need to do that.
2-hand shove right in the chest. So 1st and goal from the 2. Burrow in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Burrow lifts his right leg, takes the snap, fakes to Mixon, looks, throws left side, incomplete. Trying to get it to Hurst. Chuck Clark was in coverage. Looked like there might have been a little grab. Hurst wanted a flag, and now he and Clark discussing matters as they come back to the line of scrimmage for 2nd and goal.
How wild is it that after the Bengals went to the Super Bowl last year, Ryan, with all their weapons, the go-to guy right now is Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
Not Chase. Higgins isn't in the game. Not Boyd. Not Mixon. It feels like Burrow is looking for Hurst on all these plays.
And I'll tell you what, Ross, I think Chuck Clark got away with one. 2nd down and goal from the 2. He grabbed Hayden Hurst before he was coming out of that break. Burrow looks to his right, brings Chase in motion from that side. He'll flip it to him. Now back to Tyler Boyd running right. He's looking to throw, and he gets knocked down. Back outside the 15 by Peters. They gave it to Chase coming in motion from the right. He gave it to Boyd, who wanted to throw, and Marcus Peters with a two-hand shove puts Boyd on his back. Loss of 13, back to the 15-yard line.
I think people just run that play too often now. I mean, it's the Philly special. It feels like they run it once a game, and the Ravens are all over it. Marcus Peters read it. Burrow's the intended receiver, and Chuck Clark's blanketing him. Boyd did the right thing to not throw the ball up for grabs and get it picked.
And they wanted to throw it to Burrow. Now 3rd and goal from the 14. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right, shotgun snap. Burrow back, looks, throws over the middle, caught by Chase, inside the 5, reaching for the goal line. He is short. They're going to mark him down at the 1, and now what does Zach Taylor want to do?
I think you got to go. I mean, it is 4th and very short. You look at all the win probability numbers, and they'll tell you, you go for it here, because even if you don't get the touchdown, there's a high likelihood that you get the ball back in really good field position and then get the field goal.
They've got the ball marked just across the 2-yard line. 4th and goal. Mixon in the backfield to Burrow's right. Morgan goes in motion from left to right. Burrow now sends Mixon out to the left. Burrow lifts that right leg, takes the snap, rolling to his left, trying to flip it inside to Morgan, incomplete. Stanley Morgan was on the right. They tried to run that little shovel pass inside. The Ravens had it covered up, and the Bengals are turned away.
Boy, I hate that play call right there. As soon as Mixon motioned out and Burrow started to roll to the left, they don't do that. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not a guy that makes plays on the move like that. That's trying to trick the opponent as opposed to just thinking you're better than them.
2:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ravens still in front. Baltimore 13, Cincinnati 10. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood 1.
Football season is underway, so now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's free bets back. If your first bet doesn't win, just sign up with the promo code WIN. FanDuel has all your favorite bets from the money line to point spreads to player props. So sign up today with promo code WIN for your no-sweat first bet. Make every moment more this season with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
Must be present in state where lawful to wager. 21 plus in select states. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable free bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. Arizona 1-800-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Indiana, Kansas 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghhelp.com. Louisiana 1-877-770-STOP. New York 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. Wyoming, West Virginia 1-800-522-4700 or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
When you love riding a motorcycle, you want to ride it everywhere, even to a physical.
Let's check your weight. Hop on the scale. Look at that. You're down a few pounds. Oh, yeah. Must be the new carbon fiber wheels.
And when you love saving money, you want to save even more. That's why Geico makes it easy to bundle your motorcycle and car insurance.
I'm going to prescribe 91 octane for your engine knock, and we'll want to see you again in 3,000 miles.
Kickstart your savings with Geico Motorcycle. Bundle and save on the things you love.
This season, for the first time, you can hear every Westwood One NFL broadcast stream live for free. Catch all the action on the NFL app on WestwoodOneSports.com, via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. All sponsored by AutoZone. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and get you back on the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Well, a 15-play drive that took more than 8 minutes off the clock nets nothing for the Bengals. And now the Ravens will take over at the 2-yard line. Ross, to go back to your point, from the 2, we saw an attempted double reverse pass and an attempt at that little shovel pass. Bengals have been running it pretty effectively, but decided to go away from Mixon close to the goal line.
Very effectively, and Burrow did a nice job getting the check down to the running back and the tight end. I don't know why they felt like they needed to fool the Ravens.
Pistol formation on first down. Handoff, Dobbins running left, finds a crease, and he's across the 5 out to about the 6 for a gain of 4. Sam Hubbard on the tackle. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 here for Baltimore. When you mentioned Patrick Mahomes, you know, the Chiefs do a lot of that stuff down there. If there's a criticism of the Chiefs, it's sometimes they get a little too cute on those plays. And well, it seemed like they got a little cute that time. Bengals did. Just that pass, the Ravens had it snipped out from the beginning. Second down and 4 now. Pistol formation again. Kenyon Drake in the backfield. Shifts off to the left of Jackson. Lamar takes the snap, fakes a handoff, looks, has time, moves right, throws back across the middle, incomplete. Trying to get it to Mark Andrews. Jesse Bates was in coverage. And now third down coming up. By the way, Andrews had the touchdown early. We haven't heard much from him since. The Bengals have done a pretty good job against one of the best tight ends in the NFL.
I could hardly be more impressed by the Bengals defense. I mean, the Ravens gave Lamar plenty of time there. Nobody was open. I mean, it's blanket coverage. They see what's coming. They see what's happening. They're well prepared. They're well coached. And Jesse Bates was on Andrews there like a blanket.
Ravens just 2 of 7 on third down tonight. This is third down and 6. Ball on their own 6. Jackson in the shotgun. Went to the hard count, got the Bengals to jump, but they didn't snap. But Jackson back, throws over the middle, caught by Andrews across the 20, weaving his way out to the left side across the 25, and that'll be a first down. Chidobe Awuzie on the stop, a gain of 20. Mike Hilton was coming on the blitz. He jumped into the neutral zone. Ravens didn't snap it, but then when they finally did, Andrews found room in the middle and picks up 20 yards.
What a throw by Lamar Jackson. They dropped Trey Hendrickson. I don't know if Lamar saw it or not, but he rifled it in there past the dropping zone coverage defensive end. You cannot overstate how big that is. A 3 and out, Bengals would have gotten the ball back in Ravens territory.
Jackson back in the shotgun, backs on either side, Drake to his right. Ricard to his left, receivers left and right. Here's the snap, fake to Drake. Jackson runs right along the hash across the 30-yard line and takes a shot as he gets out to about the 32, maybe the 33. Josh Tupou able to make the stop for the Bengals. Marcus Bailey was there as well.
You know, I kind of feel like we need to see more of that. They have so much success with the Lamar designed runs. They always get at least 5 yards. The guy's averaging almost 9 yards a carry for the season. I would like to see the Ravens sprinkle down a little bit more in games like this. You know, we've got less than 16 minutes left in the game. It's winning time. Utilize arguably his best asset.
7 yards on that carry. Here's the snap to Jackson. He'll keep it again, running right, hops over his own offensive lineman, and then picks up the first down across the 35. Jesse Bates able to make the stop. Boy, that was an athletic play in the backfield. McCarry was down, and Lamar Jackson hopped over him and was able to pick up the first down, a run of 3 yards.
The Ravens can take it to the quarter here, and I think they will. Back-to-back important first downs there for Baltimore.
Yeah, Ravens jump out of the huddle, rush to the line of scrimmage, but that is the end of the third quarter here in Baltimore. With the score, the Ravens 13, the Bengals 10. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk, I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill in the morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
One pill, 24 hours, zero heartburn. With Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
This NFL season, Thursday Night Football is now Amazon's Prime Night of Football, because every Thursday Night Football game is now only on Prime Video. This season, watch all of your favorite NFL teams, all of your favorite NFL players, all competing in one place. Prime Video, the new exclusive home for Thursday Night Football. Not an Amazon Prime member? Sign up for a 30-day free trial to stream the game. We'll see you Thursday at 7 Eastern. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Welcome back to Baltimore, Maryland, along with Ross Tucker. I'm Ryan Radke. Our score, the Ravens 13, the Bengals 10. The start of the fourth quarter is sponsored by Oral-B. Oral-B's round brush heads clean 100% better than a regular brush, so you can get that purifying, clean feeling like you just left the dentist. Oral-B, brush like a pro. 15 minutes to go. Ravens lead by 3. Baltimore starting this drive at its own 2. They have advanced it out to their 36-yard line. First down and 10. Both of these teams sitting at 2-2. Bengals trying to win a third straight game. Ravens trying to get up off the deck after blowing a 17-point lead last week here at M&T Bank Stadium. Losing to Buffalo, trying to snap a 5-game home losing streak overall going back to the end of last year. Very odd numbers for a team that has had great success here under John Harbaugh since he took over as head coach. A .713 winning percentage at home, but lately it has not gone the way of the Ravens.
And the Bengals, by the way, still haven't given up a second-half touchdown yet this year. We'll see if the Ravens can end that on this quarter.
Jackson back on a play fake on first down. Hendrickson coming. Jackson throws down the field, drops it in the bucket. It's caught by Andrews, out of bounds at the 45 of Cincinnati. With Hendrickson bearing down on him, Lamar Jackson floats one in there to Andrews for a gain of 19.
Best throw of the night by Lamar Jackson, to get it just over the outstretched hand of the linebacker Pratt, but in front of Eli Apple. He put that ball the only place it could be to get completed.
From the Bengals 45 now, 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Jackson back to pass, looking, steps up. He's going to run, heads right, and gets tripped up. That was a nice job by one of the Bengal defenders in there to just get a piece of Jackson's angle. It was Zach Carter, the rookie third-rounder out of Florida, that was able to trip up Lamar just when it looked like maybe he was going to be off to the races.
Well, I thought he was going to get a nice chunk of yardage there. Carter just able to trip him up. You're right, probably saved 4 or 5 yards there, at least.
So 2nd down and long coming up. They do officially give him a gain of 1 on the play, so 2nd and 9 from the 44. Jackson in the gun, 2 receivers left. Andrews in the slot. Dobbins in the backfield off to Jackson's right. Lamar walks up toward the line, changing something. Play clock at 2, down to 1. Jackson wants the snap. He's got it to run the option to the right, keeps it, cuts back inside, avoids 2 Bengals, and is taken down at around the 41-yard line by B.J. Hill. Boy, that could have gone for nothing, but the fancy footwork of Lamar Jackson able to get something out of it. They'll mark him at the 42. That'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Well, he should have pitched it. I don't understand why he didn't pitch it. Should have pitched it to Mike Davis. You're going to run the option, and the defensive end, Hubbard, goes after you. Pitch it to the pitch man. Let him get on the perimeter.
Ravens will go empty here on 3rd and 7. Jackson in the gun, 2 receivers right, single man to the left. Now Drake motions into the backfield and stops off Jackson's left hip. Here's the shotgun snap, back to pass, throws over the middle, caught by Andrews at the 35, and he's got the first down. Another throw off the back foot for Lamar Jackson. Trey Flowers was in coverage. Mark Andrews able to move the sticks again.
I just don't understand this. If it's 3rd and 7, who are you making sure you cover if you're the Bengals? It is uncanny how often Lamar Jackson throws it to Mark Andrews in those situations. Trey Flowers cannot cover him. They need a better plan.
Injured Raven down on the play. That's Tyler Linderbaum, the center. 1st-round pick. And the Ravens training staff is coming out to have a look at him. So we'll step aside with 12:35 to go. Ravens marching on top 13-10. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Hey, I'm Brian Dunseth from SiriusXM FC. Every Monday, join Tom Rennie and me as we go all around the soccer world on our podcast, Week in the Tackle.
Enter our private circle.
From the significant...
There is a lot of reason to think they're going to win this tournament.
To the absurd.
This little car comes on, like...
We cover the soccer stories we find interesting on Week in the Tackle. Available for free on Stitcher or your favorite podcast platform.
I'm Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and host of Black Diamonds, a SiriusXM original podcast. Right now on your podcast feed, I'm telling the story of the great Satchel Paige with Guardians pitcher Tristan McKenzie.
To know what he meant to the city of Cleveland is huge. To know that I could just drag on his coattails a little bit and feel like I'm a part of his legacy.
Don't miss Black Diamonds. Available now on the SXM app, included with all of our trials and popular plans, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Big 12 football runs deep in your veins, then SiriusXM Big 12 Radio is where you need to be. We're talking conference and team previews, live games, news, and analysis from experts like Holly Rowe, Dusty Dvorak, Fozzie Whitaker, and Gabe Eichert, coaches shows, championship specials, and more. Get inside Big 12 football like nowhere else. Feed your fandom on the SiriusXM app. Stay up to date anywhere you go. Just download the app to start streaming.
Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Kevin Hart, and guess what? I've got my own channel on SiriusXM, Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio, channel 96. We play the best stand-up comedy from some of my favorite comedians, and I got my own show. It's called Straight From the Heart, and I host it with a bunch of unattractive friends of mine. They call the Plastic Cup Boys. Every Tuesday and Thursday, real, raw, authentic conversation. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Laugh Out Loud Radio right here on SiriusXM, channel 96. Don't miss it.
Football, your business wins with speed. Grainger's fast delivery means industrial supplies and solutions get to you with the speed you need. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by. 12:35 to go. Ravens 13, Bengals 10. Tyler Linderbaum, the center. Off on the sideline, Tristan Colon, third-year man out of Missouri, comes in to take over. 1st and 10, Baltimore at the Bengal 32. Lamar Jackson in the shotgun. Kenyon Drake in motion to the right, now sprints back out to the left. Here's the snap to Jackson, back to pass, scans the field, steps up, moving right, rush coming, throws right sideline. That's caught at the sticks. Devin Duvernay working to the right sideline, makes the catch for a gain of 10. Eli Apple was in coverage, but Lamar Jackson buying time and finds Duvernay.
Well, there's so much good there, right? I mean, Logan Wilson, the linebacker, had what they call second contain. He was waiting for Lamar to do that. He exploded, read it perfectly, but it's just too long to ask Apple to cover a quick, speedy guy like Duvernay.
Jackson takes the snap, turns, hands it off to Kenyon Drake, running left to the hash marks, bounces off the pile, drives forward, and carries tacklers down to around the 15. There is a penalty flag down on the play. That one was thrown in the secondary.
That is very deep. Usually where there's 12 guys.
Defense number 95. That 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run and an automatic first down.
That is a very rare call. Defensive holding, and it's the back judge that's looking at it because he's the only one that can see it. Because remember, the umpire is not behind the defensive line anymore. It almost never gets called. But Zach Carter, the rookie, was trying to not let the lineman get up on the linebacker. Kudos to the back judge. As a former interior O-lineman, I love that call.
So move it down to the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Ravens with the ball on top, 13-10. Jackson in the gun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws, pass batted high in the air, and it falls down incomplete. Jermaine Pratt got in the backfield, batted that pass high, then raced out to the far side. Numbers trying to pick it off, but he couldn't get there. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Pretty impressed by Jermaine Pratt in this game. I mean, that guy moves very well for 6'3", 250. 4th-year man from NC State has really gotten all over the field today. And how about Lamar Jackson with the hip check to make sure Pratt didn't pick it off?
Hockey season's coming up. He's getting ready. 13th play of the drive coming up. This drive started for the Ravens at their own 2. Now with the Cincinnati 12, here's the snap. Jackson keeps, runs left, cuts back right, and he's taken down inside the 10. Trey Hendrickson had contain on the outside, turned him back in, and down to about the 8-yard line. Gain of 4, it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Now, I don't think this is very likely to be 4-down territory. Unless they got super close, you'd expect the Ravens to kick the field goal and force the Bengals to have to get a touchdown or 2 scores.
Tyler Linderbaum is back in the game here for Baltimore. 3rd down and 6 from the 8-yard line. Jackson lines up in the gun. 2 receivers right, 3 receivers bunched to the left. Jackson waiting, sends Likely in motion to the left. Here's the snap, quick pass, left side, caught by Likely, down to the 5-yard line, wrapped up, fighting forward, knocked out of bounds. Where are they going to put him out? It looks like short of the 1st down. They've got him out at the 3. Logan Wilson, Chidobe Awuzie combined on the stop. And now decision time for the Ravens. And it looks like they are going to go for it here on 4th and short, leading by 3.
Andrews is so fired up. I can't tell if he's screaming to go ahead and go for it or to run the same play, but he really wants them to go for it again here. This is a gigantic play. Dobbins awfully powerful.
Andrews lines up under center. Jackson back in the shotgun. Andrews barking out the signals. Now stands up, and a penalty flag goes down. And the play clock ran out. So the Ravens were just going to see if they could get Cincinnati to jump.
Delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
And Ross, remember last week, late in the game, tie game, down at the goal line, John Harbaugh decided not to kick a field goal that would have put him ahead. Ended up, Buffalo drove down and kicked the game-winning field goal. Tonight, Harbaugh is going to take the field goal to try to make it a 6-point game. Justin Tucker with what is a chip shot for really anybody, but especially for him. This will be from 25 yards out.
I think this is the right decision. I know the Ravens players are frustrated, and there's probably even some metrics out there that would say you should go for it. But I think you got to force the Bengals to score a touchdown.
Tucker, 59 straight made field goals in the fourth quarter or overtime. Here's the snap. The kick is on the way, and the streak is alive. Run it to 60 as he knocks it through. 9:42 remaining in the game, and the Ravens lead at 16-10. You are listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Technology lets you stream an infinite amount of reality TV.
Want to watch True Crime Baking Challenge?
Nah, let's do Psychic Soccer Moms. But to streamline your organization's data management, you need more than technology. You need CDW experts who can consolidate and manage all of your data in one unified experience with the flexible HPE GreenLake platform, so you can innovate and make decisions faster.
Let's just watch this.
Previously on Meatballs and Muscle Cars.
HPE makes data transformation possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/HPE.
Barbasol Shaving Cream is available in 5 fantastic flavors to customize your close shave. Whether it's original, soothing aloe, or Pacific Rush, there's one for every face. Find your favorite Barbasol today.
Barbasol. Getting a tattoo of your team's mascot on your arm and your back and your face. Who's the mascot now? Jack Links is good with it. Pick up Jack Links at a store near you.
Scott Graham from our Westwood One studios. Let's check the scoreboard for Week 5, sponsored by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy. We still do have ourselves an undefeated team in the NFL. Philadelphia over Arizona today, 20-17. Dallas beat the Rams, 22-10. New York Giants are 4-1. They beat Green Bay 27-22. Tampa Bay over Atlanta, 21-15. Minnesota's 4-1. They knocked off Chicago, 29-22. San Francisco beat up on Carolina, 37-15. It was New Orleans over Seattle, 39-32. Tennessee hangs on and beats Washington, 21-17. Buffalo, 38. Pittsburgh, 3. Also, the Jets over Miami, 40-17. New England shut out Detroit, 29-0. LA held on. The Chargers beating Cleveland in Cleveland, 30-28. And it was Houston knocking off Jacksonville, 13-6. We'll have all the details, post-game reaction, and highlights coming up when this one is done. Back to Ryan Radke and Ross Tucker.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. 9:42 remaining in Baltimore. Ravens on top, 16-10. After that long drive, 15 plays, 90 yards, but the Ravens settle for 3. Bengals still have not given up a second-half touchdown this year. Baltimore has extended the lead to 6. And Justin Tucker getting set to kick it away to Chris Evans. So you thought right decision there by the Ravens, take the field goal, go up by 6?
I do, yes. I think, listen, it's tough for the other team to get a touchdown, right? I mean, the Bengals have only gotten 1 touchdown all game. Force them to do that or kick 2 field goals just to tie it.
Tucker ready to send it deep to Evans, who waits at the goal line. Tucker on the approach, and here comes the kickoff, end over end. Evans will let this one bounce in the end zone, and the Bengals will start at the 25, first down and 10. Well, fourth quarters here at M&T Bank Stadium have been a nightmare for the Ravens this year. We've been talking about the blown leads. At home this season, the Ravens have been outscored 31-6 in the fourth quarter. Overall this season, all 4 games, and now if you count tonight, they've been outscored 43-12 in the fourth quarter. But they have the lead here as Joe Burrow and the Bengals start again. Mixon in the backfield, off to Burrow's right, 2 receivers left. Jamar Chase, single man to the right, matched up against Marcus Peters. Burrow puts his hands on the sides of his helmet, Falls back into the gun. Play clock is at 8. Burrow takes the snap, holds it out for Mixon, gives it to him, starts left, cuts back to his right, and he's wrapped up by Peters, spins out of that tackle, takes it across the 30-yard line, and he is out of bounds here on the near sideline. Chuck Clark makes the stop. Nice first down run. Gain of it looks like 7 yards. It'll bring up second and short.
And that time, Peters not able to make the tackle on Mixon in the open field. Frankly, I would run the ball a lot if I'm the Bengals. The Ravens defensive linemen are catching right now. They're not firing off the ball. They're not exploding into the Bengals offensive linemen. They are the receivers. They're catching, and they're getting knocked back a yard or two. Mixon's going to get 3 yards before he even gets touched.
10 carries, 56 yards for Mixon, who gets it again, running left this time across the 35, outside the numbers of the 40, and he is banged down with a hard hit up at about the 43-yard line, but good enough for a first down. Gain of 11 for Joe Mixon. Geno Stone makes the tackle along with Chuck Clark.
I mean, these Ravens front seven defenders, it's like they're glue on these blocks. They cannot get off the blocks on some of these runs. Now they go to an empty set. I don't get it. They got to bring Mixon back in here.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
Running the rock till they stop him.
Mixon had lined up wide to the left. He comes into the backfield off to Burrow's right. Now Burrow shifting into his left. Play clock down to 5. Burrow waits in the gun, takes the snap, back to pass, looks, throws right side, batted down, incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Mike Thomas, who had a catch earlier in the ball game, but this one swatted out of the air. Might have been Brent Urban. Second down and 10.
Well, and now you're kind of off schedule, right? I mean, now when you were running the rock, you were on schedule. Now you try to pass on first down. Now it's unlikely you can have 2 runs and get the first down. Another empty set, my guess is they'll bring Mixon back in again. Actually, it's Pirine out there.
Pirine will motion to the backfield. It was Urban that swatted that pass down, by the way. Second down and 10. Ball at the 42-yard line of the Bengals. Play clock at 3. Burrow clapping his hands, gets the snap, back to pass, looking left, throws deep down the left sideline, incomplete. Flags are down. Trying to get that one to Jamar Chase. Flag came from the other side. It's going to be a defensive penalty against Baltimore.
That is killer.
Completely on the opposite side of the field.
Holding, defense number 22. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
That's against the rookie Williams. So the pass went left. The flag was on the right side.
Boy, it's got to be blatant in my mind to throw that flag in that situation.
Matched up against Boyd in the slot. It was a pretty good grab.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I think, because he kind of got him twice. Might have let him get away with the first one. You can't do the grab the second time. Good call.
Burrow under center, 1st and 10 from his own 47. Here's the snap. Back, handed off. This is Pirine up the middle. And it gets to midfield and then falls into Baltimore territory at the 49 for a gain of 4. That'll bring up second down and 6. Inside 8 minutes to go. Ravens 16, Bengals 10.
I just want to go back to the Williams penalty, Ryan. That would have been 3rd and 10. That's another example, right, where a rookie defender sort of panics, doesn't realize what they can and can't get away with, and commits a penalty that they didn't need to do. He had really good coverage. That's why people don't like to play rookies.
Bengals will go empty. Trips left, 2 receivers to the right. Burrow on the gun on 2nd and 6, takes the snap, quick throw, left side, caught by Chase along the numbers across the 45, picks up a first down as he twists his way down close to the Baltimore 40. Well, the Bengals have tried that play a couple of times, but I remember the very first play of the game was that little swing out to Jamar Chase. Since then, they've had almost no success with it, but this time, Chase picks up 8.
Well, this is like the only way they can get the ball to Chase these days. These wide receiver screens where he gets a block from the left tackle, Jonah Williams, as well as Tyler Boyd, and that was one of the most successful ones they've had all night.
1st and 10 from the Ravens 40. Burrow in the gun with Mixon to his left. Slot to the right, Chase single man out to the left. Burrow back in the shotgun, hands in front of his chest, takes the snap, holds it out, gives it to Mixon, starts left, spins back in between the hash marks, and Mixon leaning forward down to the 37 for a gain of 3. Patrick Queen, first man there. Calais Campbell was in there as well, but I'll tell you what, pretty good move there by Mixon to just get something out of that play.
I really enjoy the way Joe Mixon plays football. I mean, he is a physical, hard-running back. He does not mess around.
12 carries, 69 yards for Mixon. Mixon came in tonight's second in the league in carries. 2nd and 7 from the Raven 37. Slot right, single receiver left, shotgun snap to Burrow, back to pass, blitz coming, throws left side, caught by Chase right at the sticks. He's wrapped up and driven backwards by Marlon Humphrey. Needed to get close to the 30-yard line. They're going to have him just short at the 31, so it's a gain of 6. And that'll bring up a very important 3rd down and 1 for the Bengals here with 5:49 to go in the game. 16-10 Baltimore on top.
Really good blitz pickup there by the Bengals. Joe Mixon stoned Patrick Queen in the hole to give Burrow time to throw it to Chase. Why would you do anything other than give it to Mixon here?
Earlier we saw Burrow with the quarterback sneak, but he's going to line up in the gun here. Now he walks up under center. Mixon is the back. Burrow barks out the signals. Crouches down, takes the snap, turns, play fake to Mixon. Burrow looking, throws short left side. That's caught by Boyd across the 30, over the 25, ducks under a tackler and dives down to the 22. Josh Bynes on the tackle. They'll mark him down at the 23. It's a gain of 8. And boy, any Bengals fans in the house were a little nervous there for a second, but Burrow able to dump it off to Tyler Boyd, and the drive stays alive.
That's terrific play design and play call. It really is. I mean, they almost got a touchdown out of it, looking down the field at Chase, but then had Boyd release late as that check down, acting like he's blocking for a while. That's well done.
Burrow in the shotgun, Mixon to his left, 2 receivers right, single man left. Burrow lifts his right leg, takes a high snap, hands it off Mixon, explodes left outside the hash, and he's down inside the 20 to the 19, and maybe just across that 19-yard line. Gain of 4 yards, Bynes on the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up, clock churning, 4:23 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left.
Mixon never cheats a run. He gets you every inch that's there, and I still remember him getting emotional with me after the AFC Championship game when I was on the sideline for Westwood 1, just how much it means to him to be a part of this organization that the Bengals gave him a chance after his incident in college.
2nd and 5 from the 18. Burrow back to pass out of the gun, looks left, throws short left. That one is caught. Nowhere to go this time, though. Mixon just basically getting back to the line of scrimmage. Malik Harrison right there to wrap him up. And another important 3rd down play coming up. 3rd down and 5 from the 18-yard line. Bengals down by 6. Remember on that last drive from the Baltimore 2, decided to go for the touchdown. Didn't get it on 4th down. Had they kicked the field goal, they would be a McPherson kick away from tying the game. They need a touchdown, though, here.
4-down territory for the Bengals. I'd be stunned if they kick the field goal if they don't get the 1st down here.
Trips right, single man left. Burrow in the gun, takes the snap, back to pass, looks, throws left side for Chase, and he's got it on the back shoulder. 1st down inside the 5. Marlon Humphrey was in coverage. They missed earlier on a back shoulder throw. That time the communication was perfect. Gain of 13. It's 1st and goal.
Boy, that's hard, right? I mean, Marlon Humphrey is right on him, and then he just stops his route. You know, Humphrey doesn't know he's not going for the pylon. Humphrey doesn't know he's going to stop after a certain number of yards, and Burrow puts it on him like that. I don't know how corners are supposed to stop that.
1st and goal from the 5. Burrow in the gun with Mixon to his left. 2 receivers stacked right. Stanley Morgan goes in motion to the left. Burrow wants the shotgun snap. He's got it. Handoff Mixon. Starts left. Jump cut to his right. Diving forward towards the end zone. They're going to mark him short. Inside the 1, but short of the goal line. Odafe Owe on the stop. It'll be 2nd and goal. Clock moving. 2:24 to go. The Bengals could just let this run down to the 2-minute warning if they choose.
That's exactly what they should do. If you're the Bengals now, you want to leave as little time as possible for the Ravens on the other side of this presumptive score.
Gain of 4 yards on that run. Joe Burrow's over shaking hands with members of the Baltimore defense, and we have reached the 2-minute warning here in Baltimore with the score. The Ravens 16, the Bengals 10. You are listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood 1.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. I hate the struggle of tough, greasy messes on my stovetop. So I just freak, wipe, and I'm done.
When I'm frustrated with stubborn bathtub soap scum, I just freak, wipe, and I'm done.
Mr. Clean Clean Freak delivers an innovative cleaning experience with a powerful deep cleaning mist that starts working on contact to break down tough messes in seconds.
Just freak,
wipe,
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
How's your small business's starting lineup looking? Thinking you need fresh talent? Think of Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. The moment you post a sponsored job, you'll get instantly matched with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your job description. And you can then conveniently schedule and conduct virtual interviews with applicants right from Indeed's hiring platform. Make the hiring process work for you. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Westwood One, your home for Sunday Night Football.
You gotta love sports. Listen to Shine on Sports with me, Adam Shine, every weekday from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Ryan Radke, Ross Tucker, and the rest of our great Westwood One crew here in the Grainger broadcast booth in Baltimore. Field position is everything, and with over 250 Grainger branch locations, the right supplies and solutions for your industry are always right where you need them. Call, click, or stop by Grainger today. Ravens 16, Bengals 10, 2 minutes to go. Bengals on the doorstep, 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Each team with all 3 timeouts remaining. Now, last time the Bengals got down here, Ross, they got a little cute. Would you expect to see Joe Mixon or maybe just Joe Burrow keeping it himself?
One of those two. I mean, I'd probably try the sneak first. But I don't see any reason for this to be anything other than one of those two. They're like 2 inches from the goal line here.
Burrow under center. Mixon is the single back. Burrow takes the snap. Quarterback sneak off to the right side. Into the end zone. Touchdown Bengals.
They didn't signal it yet, but he's in easily.
There it is. Joe Burrow comes out of the pile and spikes the football in the back of the end zone. We could see it clearly from here. He was a yard over the goal line. And Joe Burrow with a 1-yard touchdown run has made it a 16-16 game with the extra point coming up to give Cincinnati the lead.
Boy, he took that way too wide and actually ran into an unblocked defender and was still able to bounce off him and go forward to get the touchdown. Well done by Burrow.
So here comes McPherson with an important extra point. McPherson has missed one this year. And now maybe they're going to take a look at this.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 59 seconds. And give me 20 seconds on the play.
We're going to put some time back on the clock. It shows 1:53 right now. Scott Novak originally said 1:59, but that play had to take more than 1 second. Well, they put it at 1:59.
I think this is one of the other reasons why, by the way, why the Ravens kicked that field goal. Because even if you do give up a touchdown, right?
Yep.
You can still win the game with a field goal, and you got Justin Tucker as your kicker.
So they put it at 1:58. McPherson for the extra point to give the Bengals the lead. Anamitis will snap it. Huber will hold. McPherson to kick. Here's the snap. It's high. Huber gets it down. The kick on the way, and
oh my God,
good. He tucked it just barely inside that right upright.
It went right over the top of it.
The Ravens are saying it's no good, but the official underneath the upright says it's good.
They're going to have to review it. It went right over the top of it. Now, it's going to have to be indisputable visual evidence that it didn't go in, but it went right over. They need to make the field goal post higher.
My goodness. That is as close as it gets. The signal is good, and the Bengals have the lead. 1:58 to go. Bengals 17, Ravens 16. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Driving happy with Febreze car.
You're driving home when
Oh no, you hit the longest red light in town. What's this? You're smiling because your car smells amazing. You just installed a Febreze car vent clip. Ha ha! 5 weeks ago. With up to 40 days of consistent Febreze scent, those lights can stay red for as long as they'd like.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Back in Baltimore, 1:58 to go. Bengals 17, Ravens 16. It's time for the Dell Small Business Fact of the Game. The Bengals are trying to snap a long losing streak on Sunday Night Football. Coming into tonight, the Ravens have lost, or the Bengals rather, have lost 9 straight games on Sunday Night Football. They have not won a Sunday night game since 2004. It's the Fact of the Game, sponsored by Dell Small Business. Dell Technologies provides growing businesses with the tools to do incredible things. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. Well, during the timeout, they showed the replay several times. Ravens fans are convinced that extra point was no good. It's interesting, Ross, when you look at it from behind the goalposts, it looks no good. When you look at it from behind McPherson, it looks like it was just inside the right upright. The call is good. Bengals lead by 1.
Here's what I think. 2 things. Number one, if the ref said it was no good, I don't think it'd be enough to overturn it and say it was good.
I agree.
If the field goal post was higher, it would have hit the field goal post. Now, I don't know, it might have hit the field goal post and still gone in, but it would have hit the post. That is unbelievable.
Evan McPherson kicks it off, and Devin Duvernay is going to let this one bounce in the end zone. Ravens will start at the 25, down 1:58 to go with 3 timeouts. I feel like we're eventually going to have to get some sort of like laser technology or something on those, don't you? I feel like baseball's going to have the automated strike zone. Like, we need some sort of like laser or chip in the ball or something like that.
Well, not only that, every angle we have here on our monitors in the booth, it's not directly under the post.
Right.
You got to be directly under the post looking up. I mean, we need like 500 cameras.
Ravens from the 25, 1st and 10, trips right, single man to the left. Lamar Jackson walks up toward the line, drops back into the shotgun, gets the snap, looks right, throws quick right side. That's caught by Andrews out to the sideline, and he's out of bounds. Nope, they're going to say he didn't get out of bounds. They're going to keep the clock moving. They will give him a gain out to the 32 of 7, maybe 8. Mike Hilton on the stop. They'll put it down to the 32. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Clock moving inside 100 seconds to go.
Ravens don't need to be in that much of a hurry.
Jackson in the gun. Quick throw over the middle. Caught by Andrews. Spins off the first tackle out near the 40. His forward progress is stopped there. Tackle made by Von Bell. Bengals trying to rip that ball
First
out.
down on the field. Forward progress was ruled. Forward progress. First down.
So the clock's still moving. 1:20 to go. Ball resting on the far side right hash.
Ravens have all 3 timeouts, and they're already only 20 yards away from Tucker field goal range.
Jackson takes the snap under pressure, gets away, runs ahead, and dives close to the 45. They'll mark him at the 44. John Harbaugh is going to spend his first timeout with 1:06 to go. Lamar Jackson somehow avoiding that rush, and they're able to stumble ahead and pick up 4 yards. Harbaugh stops the clock with 1:06 to go. Ball at the 44-yard line. 2nd down and 6. We should say that before the game, we were watching Justin Tucker warm up. He was actually attempting 70-yard field goals in warmups. And we're talking about one of the all-time greats, again, a guy that has hit 60 consecutive field goals in the 4th quarter or overtime, and already tonight has hit from 58.
I don't think we can overstate how big that scramble for Lamar Jackson was right there. That should have been a 5-yard loss run.
Yeah.
You called it perfectly. He broke a tackle in the backfield. The difference in this situation between a 4 or 5 yard loss and a 4-yard gain, I know people are in their car right now be like, it's 8 yards, dude, 9 yards. But it's a big difference in terms of what the Ravens can play call in their situation.
They actually gave Jackson progress to the 45-yard line. And Scott Novak just made an announcement. I'm not sure what it was, but the Ravens fans really like it.
Ravens did not lose a timeout. Something happened. I don't know if it was an injury. Something happened on the Bengals side of things. So that the Ravens didn't have. Oh, there was a penalty. It's still first down.
So 1st and 5 at the 45-yard line. And so the Ravens do not get charged the timeout.
12 players on the defense. I need 1 minute, 10 seconds on the game clock, 1:10.
So they're saying that the Bengals had 12 men on the field.
Never saw a flag thrown.
I didn't either. So that's why the ball is at the 45. No timeout is charged. 1:10 remaining. 17-16 Bengals. Jackson in the shotgun. Kenyon Drake to his left. 2 receivers left and right. Here's the snap. Jackson's going to keep it. Runs straight ahead along the right hash to the 50. Cuts right to the 45. Still on his feet. 40. Down near the Bengal 35. They're going to mark him down. They'll say his knee hit at the 37. Sam Hubbard on the tackle. Inside 1 minute to go and a timeout taken by Baltimore. 18-yard pickup.
It was Zach Taylor, I think, that actually called it, Ryan. As soon as Lamar Jackson got that many yards, I think Zach Taylor realized, they're already in field goal range and Justin Tucker's automatic. I saw Zach Taylor running down to the side judge to get a timeout.
So the timeout with 56 seconds to go. Big run there by Lamar Jackson as he picks up 18. 10 carries, 50 yards now for Lamar Jackson. It was Taylor that called the timeout. Ravens in field goal range.
As good as Justin Tucker is, and we know he's made 60 straight fourth quarter overtime, 53-yard field goals are still not easy. I mean, they need to get more yards. They need to take more time off the clock and get more yards to make this a little bit easier for their superstar kicker.
Pistol formation. Drake is the back, lined up behind Jackson. Ricard the fullback to Jackson's left. Here's the snap, handoff. Drake running left. And Kenyon Drake along the hash marks. Barrels his way down to about the 32-yard line. Bengals will take another timeout with 52 seconds left. Gain of 4, Jermaine Pratt with the tackle. Don't miss all the NFL excitement on CBS next Sunday when the Buffalo Bills meet the Kansas City Chiefs. Check your local listings for more details. Catch the NFL on CBS. All right, Ross, going on what you just said now, with the ball down at the 32-yard line, Bengals have just one timeout left. It's only second down, so you would expect the Ravens to probably just keep it on the ground, run the ball again, right?
I do. Here's what matters, though. You cannot have a holding penalty. If you are an offensive lineman, it is critical. You cannot have a holding penalty in this situation.
Drake lined up behind Jackson. Now we'll shift off to Lamar's left. One receiver split wide to the right. Here's the snap. Jackson fakes, runs right along the hash marks, and Jackson close to a first down, might have it. Inside the 30, down at about the 27. Josh Tupou, Jeff Gunter combined on the tackle. Bengals spend their last time out with 46 seconds left. That's a gain of 5 yards. And now the Ravens are sitting in the catbird seat. They're going to mark it just shy of the first down. Just outside that 32.
Even if the Ravens don't get the first down, they can take the clock all the way down to 4 seconds and then call a timeout. Either way, the Bengals are not getting the ball back here. It's just whether or not the Ravens kick a field goal after this next play or they continue to matriculate the ball down the field.
I said just outside the 32, just outside the 27. Third down and a yard. Drake moves off to Jackson's right. Jackson takes the snap, fakes the handoff, straight ahead. Jackson falls forward. He's got the first down. Down to the 25-yard line. Bengals cannot stop the clock. 37 seconds left. Cam Sample on the tackle. Clock moving inside 30 seconds. Now the Ravens, probably go to Justin Tucker. Where do you want the ball? You could move it in between the hash marks if you want. Or you can just let this one run all the way down, take the timeout, and kick it from where it's at.
I don't think they want to take a chance of a holding penalty. I think they're going to let it run all the way down. They're well within Justin Tucker range. It's in the middle of the field. Don't take a chance of something negative happening.
John Harbaugh letting it tick all the way down, and now we'll call timeout with 3 seconds on the clock. And here comes the most accurate kicker in NFL history. In his career has made over 91%, 60 consecutive field goals in the fourth quarter or overtime. Justin Tucker coming out to try to win the game for the Baltimore Ravens and move them to 3-2 on the season. This will be about a 43-yard attempt for Tucker. The ball is in between the hash marks. So a straight-on kick for Justin Tucker. Again, the Bengals do not have a timeout to use. Tucker trying to send the hometown fans home happy. Nick Moore will snap. Jordan Stout, the rookie, to hold. Tucker looks at the goalpost. Says he's ready. Here's the snap. Ball down. Kick is on the way from Tucker, and it is good. And the Ravens win. Justin Tucker from 43, and the Ravens win it 19-17. Fans are celebrating here in Baltimore, and the Ravens, off a frustrating loss a week ago where they squandered a 17-point lead, see a late lead evaporate tonight, but come back to win it. Justin Tucker does it again, 61 in a row in the fourth quarter or overtime, and he gives the Ravens the win, moving Baltimore to 3-2. The Bengals fall to 2-3.
What an amazing football game. I mean, just incredible. Exactly what you and I expected coming into tonight. And the Ravens almost blew another double-digit lead, Ryan. But this time, they came through, and their future Hall of Famer, and yes, you heard me correctly, their future Hall of Fame kicker sealed the deal. He always does.
Well, such a comforting feeling, I'm sure, if you're the Ravens. And you have a guy like Justin Tucker knowing that long as you get the ball anywhere around that 50-yard range, you're feeling really, really good about your chances. And Justin Tucker comes through yet again for the Baltimore Ravens. He made 3 field goals tonight from 37, from 58, and the last one, the most important, from 43. And the Ravens get the win. 19-17 is the final score. They go to 3-2 on the season. For the Bengals, a frustrating loss. They fall to 2-3. Cincinnati took the lead in this game, driving down the field and scoring on the Burrow touchdown run just inside 2 minutes left. But the Ravens with a quick answer and using that ground game to get the job done. Lamar Jackson finishes with 12 carries, 58 yards tonight. Jackson surpassing 4,000 career rushing yards. Fastest quarterback in NFL history to do that in game number 63. Again, Michael Vick had been the previous record holder, doing it in 87 games. J.K. Dobbins, 8 carries for 44 yards tonight. Jackson finishes 19 of 32 for 174, a touchdown and a pick. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, 24 of 35, 217 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Joe Mixon, 14 carries, 78 yards. And it's the Ravens that come out on top here at home. The 5-game losing streak for Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium is done, and it has to feel like a weight lifted off their shoulders, Rob.
Oh, my gosh. Just unbelievable, especially in this situation, the chance that they somehow could have blown another double-digit lead, especially after Burrow and the boys went all the way down the field for that touchdown. But that's why Harbaugh did the right thing, kicking the field goal to go up 16-10, gave them that opportunity to have one more field goal to win the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure much will be talked about the Bengals deciding not to kick a field goal when they were down at the 2-yard line, got a little cute, ended up losing yardage, and then didn't get in on 4th down. Trying that little shovel pass, the Ravens took the lead, and as you said, even though they gave it up, able to get Justin Tucker into range, and he drills it through, staying perfect on the season. Now 8 of 8 kicking field goals this year to give Baltimore the win, and a very happy full house of Ravens fans making their way out of M&T Bank Stadium. And for the Bengals, a frustrating loss. They've had a couple of those this year. Cincinnati swept the season series from Baltimore a year ago, but tonight it is the Ravens that come out on top. Ravens finished the game with 325 yards, 155 on the grounds. And they were able to get it done on the ground late. Lamar Jackson taking a lot of that into his own hands. That's also the advantage when you have a weapon like him at quarterback.
He really did, and that's what you and I talked about, right? I felt like when it's winning time, you got to give the ball to Lamar Jackson and let him run, and that's exactly what they did on that last drive to clinch it.
So Jackson again getting the job done. He improves to 40-14 as an NFL starter. Jackson with his 7th career fourth-quarter comeback, his 9th career game-winning drive. And a guy in Lamar Jackson that really has bet on himself. Contract year, has turned down some really big money that was offered coming into this year, said it would not be a distraction for him. And, boy, he gets it done here tonight as the Ravens come away with the win. Let's go down to the field. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews joins us. Mark, I just want to know what it's like. You see Cincinnati score to take the lead, but you guys know you have one of the greatest kickers in NFL history on your side.
Yep.
How much pressure does that take off you guys going into a drive like you just had?
Field goal wins. Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying on the sideline. We were moving the ball great the whole game and trust Lamar, trust our guys. We were able to move it, and obviously having Justin Tucker the GOAT, field goal wins. That's all we had to say.
Mark, I could tell you wanted to go for it. 4th down near the goal line. In hindsight, do you feel like Harbs made the right call to kick the field goal there?
Yeah, it was one of those things where could have gone for it, just depending on the look. But a smart play, got the points, and I'm happy the way the game ended.
After the last 2 home games where you guys were not able to hold the lead, how good does it feel, Mark, for you guys to get the win, especially in division?
Really good, man. This was a big game. Shout out to the Bengals. They're a really good team, well coached. It was a dogfight, so we knew how much this game meant, and we're just going to continue to get better each and every game. It was good, man. The guys played well.
Mark, congratulations on the win tonight. Thanks for a few minutes.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
Mark Andrews, Ravens tight end. He had 8 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown tonight. And the Baltimore Ravens come away with the win, 19-17 over the Cincinnati Bengals. When we return, Scott Graham rejoins us from our Progressive Insurance Studios with the postgame report. Protect the stuff you love with Renter's Insurance. Visit Progressive.com today. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
O'Reilly. Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with Peak Long Life Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant. Now just $3.99 after mail-in rebate. Limit supply. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When you love riding a motorcycle, you want to ride it everywhere, even to a physical.
Let's check your weight. Hop on the scale. Look at that. You're down a few pounds. Oh, yeah. Must be the new carbon fiber wheels.
And when you love saving money, you want to save even more. That's why Geico makes it easy to bundle your motorcycle and car insurance.
I'm going to prescribe 91 octane for your engine knock, and we'll want to see you again in 3,000 miles.
Kickstart your savings with Geico Motorcycle. Bundle and save on the things you love.
Scott Graham from our Westwood One studios following Sunday Night Football tonight. And even though this is only week 5, a big game inside the AFC North because the Cincinnati Bengals came in at 2-2. The Baltimore Ravens came in at 2-2, but from 2 different directions. Bengals had won back-to-back games, figuring out a way to get it done after their 0-2 start. The Ravens, well, they had gotten into the habit of late of not only giving up a lot of yards through the air, but letting leads get away. That was something they could not afford to do tonight against a potentially explosive Bengals team that lit them up twice last year. Joe Burrow throwing for more than 940 yards in the 2 games between these 2 teams. How would it go tonight? Well, Baltimore figured out a way to play this game a little bit more like a classic Ravens game. And it certainly looked that way on the scoreboard for a good portion of the evening. Ravens got the first points of the game on a Justin Tucker field goal from 37 yards out at the midway point of the first quarter for a 3-0 lead. They added to that lead early in the second quarter at the end of a 7-play, 50-yard drive. This time they found the end zone as Lamar Jackson looked for his favorite target.
Shotgun snap to Jackson, back to pass, looking, throws left, Andrews wide open, makes the catch at the 5, turns it up and glides into the end zone. Touchdown Ravens. Mark Andrews made the catch on the left side, had no one in front of him, and waltzed in an 11-yard touchdown pass. And the Ravens lead 9-0 early in the second quarter.
Justin Tucker's extra point was good, a 10-0 ball game, but that is when the Bengals finally got going. That was in that second quarter. They put together an 83-yard drive. By the way, this is a theme you're going to hear the rest of the way. Some very extended drives in terms of yardage and plays. The 7-play, 83-yard drive took a little less than 4.5 minutes off the clock, and a very familiar face, or at least a very familiar name, to the crowd at M&T Bank Stadium paid it off for Cincinnati.
Burrow takes the shotgun snap. He's back to pass. Burrow looking, has time, throws down the middle. Hurst makes the catch at the 5, angles left, breaks out of a tackle, reaching for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. It's Hayden Hurst breaking a tackle and stretching the ball across the plane of the goal line. 19-yard touchdown pass, and the Bengals are on the board.
Hurst's body was fully horizontal, parallel to the ground as he reached to get that ball over the goal line, which he did. Evan McPherson hit on the extra point to make it a 10-7 game, and then just before halftime, McPherson hit on a 40-yard field goal to tie this one at 10 apiece. So, in a lot of ways, the Bengals felt like they had survived an early punch, come back and gotten the game tied. The Ravens looked like they had an opportunity early in the third quarter to kind of break the game open. But in a very strange sequence, Lamar Jackson overthrew Devin Duvernay, who was open in the end zone on a long pass, and then 4 plays later on a 4th down play, overthrew Tylan Wallace on a play that easily not only would have converted the 4th down, but he was 10 yards behind the man covering him, Eli Apple. That was going to be a touchdown. So the Ravens turned it over on downs, but on the very next play, Cincinnati gave it right back.
Burrow takes the snap, back on a play fake, sets his feet, looking, throws deep down the middle, and it's intercepted by Queen. Patrick Queen back across the 50 and knocked down in Bengal territory. Chase was the intended target, but Patrick Queen got underneath it, and as his first INT of the year, he's had a couple of chances, dropped a couple. That one he hangs on to, and the former Joe Burrow teammate at LSU has the pick to set the Ravens up with good field position again.
How about that? They got the football back right away and in good field position. They didn't move it much, but they didn't have to because they were well within Justin Tucker's range, which is apparently the building. He hit on a 58-yard field goal to put Baltimore up by a 13-10 score. This is the early moments of the third quarter. Now, Cincinnati basically made the remainder of the third quarter go away with a long drive, 15 plays, 73 yards. They got down close after a pass interference call and a couple of well-timed plays. They were knocking on the door, but a Philly special ended up getting covered and fell incomplete. Then after a completion of Jamar Chase, they were down to a 4th down and goal from the 2-yard line. Field goal ties the game, go for the touchdown, and shoot the dice. They shot the dice and tried to throw a shovel pass in the middle of the field. It got knocked down, and it meant that Baltimore had turned Cincinnati away without any points. It was still a 13-10 ball game. And that is when the Ravens got going on their epic drive. How about 15 plays? How about 91 yards and more than 8 minutes off the clock? Again, they were close enough to think about the idea of going for it on 4th down. That's when John Harbaugh decided he was going to settle for a field goal and make it a 6-point game. Justin Tucker hitting easily from 25 yards out to make it 16-10 with 9:42 to go. Remember what we said about epic drives? It was Cincinnati's turn. 13 plays, 75 yards, more than 7.5 minutes off the clock. As we got inside the 2-minute warning, the Bengals had their opportunity to try to grab the lead.
Burrow under center, Mixon is the single back. Burrow takes the snap, quarterback sneak off to the right side, into the end zone, touchdown Bengals. Joe Burrow comes out of the pile and spikes the football in the back of the end zone. We can see it clearly from here. He was a yard over the goal line. And Joe Burrow with a 1-yard touchdown run has made it a 16-16 game with the extra point coming up to give Cincinnati the lead.
Oh, the extra point was more than just a little bit of a wild ride. Evan McPherson hit it high over the right upright, directly over the right upright. Fans at M&T Bank Stadium cheered because they thought that it was wide right. The officials disagreed, and they called it good. Apparently, the entire of the ball has to have been over the center inside of that post. And if you looked at it from one angle, it looked like it was. If you looked at it from the other angle, it looked like it wasn't. The officials called it good. The extra point meant that with 1:58 left to go, Cincinnati had a 1-point lead. As it turned out, it didn't really matter all that much because Lamar Jackson had 3 timeouts and a wealth of confidence once he brought his team back out on the field. They had up chunks of yardage and it was largely Lamar Jackson's doing, including running the football. He got his team in range. They ran the clock down. They called a timeout. And with Justin Tucker just waiting on the sidelines, it's time for the Wrangler Jeans highlight of the game.
Tucker looks at the goalpost, says he's ready. Here's the snap, ball down. Kick is on the way from Tucker, and it is good. And the Ravens win. Justin Tucker from 43, and the Ravens win it 19-17. Fans are celebrating here in Baltimore, and the Ravens, off a frustrating loss a week ago where they squandered a 17-point lead, see a late lead evaporate tonight, but come back to win it. Justin Tucker does it again, 61 in a row in the fourth quarter or overtime, and he gives the Ravens the win, moving Baltimore to 3-2. The Bengals fall to 2-3.
That is the highlight of the game, sponsored by Wranglers. 75 years of history and still blazing trails. Check out Wrangler.com today to discover new styles and all the latest denim trends. Wrangler, for the ride of life. Tell you what, you start talking about Justin Tucker, I don't think there's any argument right now that he's got to be the greatest of all time when you think of what it is that he does on a consistent basis, game by game, year by year. Ravens win this one on the strength of their kicker. 3 field goals in the second half was all the scoring they had. They win it by a score of 19-17. More on tonight's game. Let's rejoin Ryan Radke and Ross Tucker at M&T Bank Stadium, guys.
Well, Scott, I'll tell you what, I was just thinking exactly what you just said. I know when you look at numbers, there's guys that have played longer than Justin Tucker. There's guys that have made more kicks. There's guys that have far more points than he does in his career. I can't imagine, though, any team ever feeling more comfortable in a situation like that than the Ravens feel with Justin Tucker. The minute he walked on the field, it's like everybody in the stadium, including the Bengals, knew, game over, Baltimore just won.
Yeah, I just didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to say it and potentially jinx it. I think he's unjinxable, though. I mean, 61 straight in fourth quarter or overtime is maybe the most impressive stat I've ever heard. I mean, think about on a weekly basis how many kickers we see miss kicks at the end of games. He never, ever does. Has to be an incredibly comforting feeling for every member of the Ravens organization.
3 for 3 tonight, 8 for 8 on the season, hit from 37, 58, and the game winner from 43 as the Ravens get the win 19-17. And I think it's probably a good time to talk about our Geico drive of the game, Ross, and I think pretty easy to pick this one out.
Yeah, I mean, take a guess, right? It's the last drive for the Ravens. After the Bengals, by the way, marched all the way down, scored a touchdown to take the lead, the Ravens, threw a couple Mark Andrew passes and a lot of Lamar Jackson running. When they need to win, they lean on his legs. He got it done, and that's the winning combo for the Ravens late. Lamar's legs and then Justin Tucker's foot. 7 plays, 50 yards, a minute and 58 seconds, and the game-winning field goal to win 19-17.
That's the drive of the game, sponsored by Geico. Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Having a home is hard work, so get a quote at geico.com. Easy. Lamar Jackson had to wait to do his post-game press conference. They had to get Justin Tucker up to the podium first. You don't see that very often. The quarterback has to wait for the kicker. So the Ravens get the win. Ross, I think one that they really needed after some frustrating home losses this year. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they've lost 3 games this year, all on last-second kicks. I think they did address one of their issues tonight. They needed to get the running game going. They had much more success running the ball tonight than they had the first 4 games. The other issue, though, that has kind of cropped up for Cincinnati now that I don't think any of us really expected, their ability to drive the ball down the field, they just have not been able to do it. I mean, you look tonight, Jamar Chase, he had a couple of catches late. He finishes 7 catches, 50 yards, but a lot of those throws just kind of right around the line of scrimmage. T. Higgins was not able to finish the game tonight with his ankle. They just have not been able to get that part of their offense back.
I think it's how people are playing them this year. There were so many big plays last year that people have decided we're not having a single safety in the middle of the field. We're going to have 2 deep safeties. They're going to have to be patient. They're going to have to take the underneath stuff because they realize these receivers are too good down the field. And it's been smart, and the Bengals have struggled with it to some extent.
All right, Bengals on the road, going to New Orleans next week. Meanwhile, the Ravens going on the road. They'll take on the surprising New York Giants next week. So big games coming up for both those teams. Ross, great working with you as always. Appreciate it. Safe travels. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
Always, man. It's a blast. Love doing games with you always, especially here.
19-17. Ravens get the win tonight. Let's send it back to Scott Graham now in our Westwood One studios.
All right, thank you, guys. When we return, we're going to run down all the scores and highlights from today's NFL action. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
For the end zone, he throws, and it's caught. Touchdown!
For the first time, every NFL team on the SXM app features your team's pre- and post-game show. Live updates before games, post-game interviews, and press conferences after every game.
Really excited for our group, man. That was varsity ball today.
Now, your favorite team's broadcast includes their pre- and post-game shows all season long on the SXM app. All 32 team channels are also available in vehicles equipped with SiriusXM 360L radios.
Checker flag right here. I want a lot more of those big trophies.
Listen to SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90 and on the SXM app, included with all of our trials and popular plans. Sunday, we're back on the track at 1:30 p.m. Eastern with NASCAR Cup Series Racing. It's the South Point 400 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio
Channel 90.
I hyper-focus on doing my job.
Are you tired of hearing from analysts too tired to stay up for Pac-12 After Dark? We've got the best coverage of the Conference of Champions on Pac-12 This Morning. From the guys that played in the league, Ryan Leaf, Shane Vereen, and Evan Moore.
We were 41.5-point underdogs at the Coliseum, and we beat them.
Plus the biggest names like Stanford head coach David Shaw tune in too.
My drive-in, I'd rather listen to some Pac-12-centric talk. So great to talk to both of you guys.
Pac-12 This Morning, weekday morning starting at 11 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Channel 373 and the SXM app.
Hi, everybody. Christopher Mad Dog Russo here. Familiar? You should be. Well, now you can catch Mad Dog's Daily Bite each day as a podcast, where you'll hear my thoughts and opinions on the biggest topics around the world of sports. NFL, baseball, golf, NBA, even the hockey. That you know you can count on. That's Mad Dog's Daily Bite. Drops daily anywhere you get your podcasts. And you can also hear me weekdays 3 to 6 Eastern on Mad Dog Unleashed, SiriusXM Channel 82, or anytime on the SXM app.
Game show following Baltimore's win over Cincinnati. Let's get you updated on what happened earlier today in the National Football League. The lone remaining unbeaten team in the National Football League heading into Week 5, the Philadelphia Eagles, 4-0 as they headed to the desert to take on Arizona Cardinals. Jalen Hurts averaging 330 yards of offense per game and won his last 7 regular season games coming in, going up against former Oklahoma quarterback Kyler Murray. This ball game was an interesting one in a lot of ways. Philadelphia did not have the explosive offense that they've had over the course of the year. Hurts wasn't that explosive, didn't throw for a touchdown in this game, although he did run for 2. Philly had an early lead, but Arizona came back. In the fourth quarter of this ball game, they had themselves an opportunity to get it tied, which they did. Philly then answered with a field goal, but Arizona had time left on the clock to move downfield. Kyler Murray moved his team down the field. Although they had an opportunity to extend beyond in terms of the drive, Murray took a seat as he slid down while running toward the first down marker. He ended up a yard short, so it was 4th down. They had to kick the football. Matt Amendola, coming in as a replacement kicker this week, had the opportunity to get it tied back up.
43-yard attempt. The ball is spotted. The kick is underway, and the kick is no good. It's no good. It is wide right. No good. He missed it. The officials hesitated, and he missed it. The Eagles are going to be 5-0. He missed it. He's no Cameron Dicker.
Merrill Reese on Sports Radio 94 WIP. Cameron Dicker is the guy who's filling in for the Eagles today. Both kickers were out of this game. Philly hangs on for a 20-17 win. And yeah, in case you missed what Merrill said, they are now 5-0. And their head coach talked after the game about what makes their team special.
You know, either teams throughout the year are going to come together or they're going to go apart. There's really no in between, right? And this team is continuing to come together because they love each other, right? They you know, like what's happened with Cam. Like you asked me with Cam, they put their arms around him and welcomed him and made a big play when we needed it. And that's what's special about this team. We just got to keep it going.
A lot of love from Nick Sirianni for Philadelphia, and in return, They've got a big Sunday night game against the Dallas Cowboys next week right here on Westwood 1. Arizona falls to 2-3. Kyler Murray, 250 yards and a touchdown on the day. Marquise Brown had 78 yards receiving. Speaking of those Dallas Cowboys, they went to L.A. today and they beat the defending champs, knocking off the Rams 22-10. Cooper Rush came into the game as the only quarterback in NFL history to win his first 4 career starts with the team and have a 90-plus passer rating. Well, today he was 10 for 16 for 102. Not a lot, but certainly enough. And his owner, Jerry Jones, talked about that performance that he's gotten out of his backup quarterback.
Right before the game, Dak Prescott told me, he said, "Coach, you shouldn't have worried so much because I could have told you Rush is a hell of a quarterback." So Prescott's rooting for him, rooting as he would be for all of us. We're just trying to get another game, but who would have thought that you'd get it against the world champs?
No conversation now about a quarterback controversy when Dak does come back. We'll see how quickly that is, but Dallas now sitting at 4-1. Matthew Stafford had been in a funk. The Rams have been in a funk. They came into the game 29th in the NFL in scoring. They were held to just 7 points. It was a Matthew Stafford touchdown pass to Cooper Kupp. What else is new? But the Rams now at 2-3. Kupp, by the way, 125 yards receiving in the ball game. All right, how about the New York Giants? Going overseas to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Giants are 3-1 coming into this game for the first time since 2011. And Saquon Barkley, the leading rusher and guy with yards from scrimmage in the National Football League. So it's only fitting that in this ball game in the fourth quarter, after Barkley came back from a shoulder injury, that he's the guy that put his team over the top.
Barkley back in at the Wildcat. From the 2, it's first down and goal. Giants moving right to left, tie game. Barkley, direct snap, turns the far right corner, leaps into the end zone, touchdown, and the Giants have the lead. 26-20, 6:08 to go, down 10 starting the second half, and they're on top late in the fourth quarter.
Bill Rosinski with the call right here on Westwood 1. Giants win it 27-22. Tell you what, you don't hear this very often, but here's your statistical game for Daniel Jones. 21 for 27, 217 yards, no touchdowns, no rushing touchdowns, but also no turnovers. Just a pristine game for the quarterback, at least according to his head coach, Brian Dable.
Quarterback had an excellent game, and he's had a few of those. Maybe his stats don't reflect it, but he's led the team down to wins. He's played good in crunch time, coming back from a little bit of an ankle. So, and really, I give credit to all the guys and all the coaches.
Giants fans, I know you're out there. So, since 1990, when a team has started 4-1, they have made the postseason 78% of the time. Put a pin in that one. Green Bay Packers are now 3-2. Aaron Rodgers threw 2 touchdown passes early in this one. Not much offense in the second half, though. Green Bay now with that 3-2 record goes back home to take on the other New York team, the Jets, next week at Lambeau Field. All right, Tom Brady going up against Atlanta. That's going to bring back memories of Super Bowl 51. If you're an Atlanta fan, whatever it brings back, it's always a loss. 4-0 since he came to Tampa Bay, 10-0 in his career against the Falcons. And it looked like it was pretty much following the same pattern today, as Tampa Bay had a 21-0 lead as this one went to the fourth quarter. Then Atlanta started a comeback. They scored 15 points. They were on the verge of forcing Tampa Bay to turn the ball back over and give them one shot to march down the field and win the game. But that's when the referees, the yellow flags, and the whistle got in the way.
Brady working from the gun. Brady retreats. Looking. Here comes Grady Jarrett. You shall not pass. Surely they didn't call slinging him down. This will be a horrendous call. They're going to call Grady Jarrett for slinging down Brady on this sack.
David Archer, Sports Radio 92.9, The Game, and the Falcons Radio Network. I don't disagree. It didn't look like anything egregious, but as it turned out, that was your ball game. Brady and company got another first down, and Tampa Bay put it away, winning by a score of 21-15. Tom threw for 351 yards and a touchdown today, and Leonard Fournette had 2 touchdowns in all as Tampa Bay improved to 3-2. Atlanta, well, they fall to 2-3 on the year. Marcus Mariota, 147 yards and a touchdown, also ran for 61, and he said you can't blame the game on one call.
I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, you can't leave this game up to the refs. I thought if we would have been better on offense early on in the game, we would have an opportunity to win and not have that scenario come into play. So it is what it is. I mean, those guys call it the way they see, and you can't frown on it, can't do much about it. It's out of your control.
Falcons now 0 for 11 against Tom Brady. They'll get one more crack at him. That would be in the final game of the regular season. Minnesota quietly is sitting at 4-1 now. They got blown out by the Philadelphia Eagles in week 2, but otherwise, Kirk Cousins and company have gotten it done, as they did today against the Chicago Bears, winning 29-22. Another big day for Justin Jefferson. 12 catches, $154 on the day, his 17th career 100-yard game. Only Randy Moss and Odell Beckham Jr. have more over the course of their first 3 years. Dalvin Cook ran for a couple of scores. So did Kirk Cousins. That turned out to be the game winner with 2:26 to go. Minnesota is now 4-1 on the season. Justin Fields threw for 208, a touchdown, ran for 47 yards. David Montgomery was back for Chicago. Bears fall to 2-3. San Francisco 49ers brought that great defense on the road today to Bank of America Stadium, and it was still great. They beat the Carolina Panthers 37-15. Jeff Wilson, 120-yard game and a rushing score. Hey, Tevin Coleman's on this team. He scored twice in this one, so did Deebo Samuel. And Jimmy Garoppolo, who threw for 2 scores, is now 35-15 in his career as a starting quarterback. Those are great numbers. Why do they doubt this guy? San Francisco now 3-2. Baker Mayfield, well, he got banged up in this ball game. He threw for 215 yards, no touchdowns, and an interception. Christian McCaffrey ultimately had over 100 yards, including a touchdown in this one, but Carolina is now 1-4 on the year. And if you're the New Orleans Saints today, it all came down to one guy. One guy. He is the guy that is the Swiss Army knife of their offense. And Taysom Hill was on fire today, not just with his arm. Yeah, he threw a touchdown pass, but with his legs.
From the right hash mark, Taysom Hill keeps it, looks for first down, and he's got it. And he's got room to run. 50, 40, 30, 20. Will he get caught from behind? That is going to be a touchdown. Taysom Hill. Taysom TD. 60 yards.
Mike Haas, WWL Radio, flagship station of the New Orleans Saints. The 4th touchdown he was responsible for today. New Orleans beat Seattle by a score of 39-32. Andy Dalton throws for a score. Alvin Kamara, 103 yards on the ground and 91 through the air, so he may be back. They were doing this without Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas, and Jarvis Landry. New Orleans now 2-3 on the year. Geno Smith has been marvelous for Seattle, and he was again today. 268 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to Tyler Lockett. Kenneth Walker had a big touchdown run, but Seattle now 2-3 as well. Still to come, more scores, highlights, and post-game reaction. You're listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Steve is intrigued by the paranormal.
Otherworldly spirits really make a house a home, you know?
Janice has different taste.
I'd like my house to not be haunted.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle home and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Steve and Janice found a renovated Victorian that's only haunted from 9 to 5.
Okay, wife's home. You're gonna bounce.
Bye, Steve. Bundling without compromise at Geico.com.
Are you ready? At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's rewards members can earn bonus points on select products from brands like DeWalt, Purdy Paint Applicators, and GRK Screws. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, grills, Lowe's gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Visit Lowe's.com/MVP's bonus points for details. Now through 10/28.
Welcome back to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One from the Progressive Insurance Studios. I'm Scott Graham. Looking for a career path with flexibility, great pay, and benefits? Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online. Bundle today at progressive.com. Following Baltimore's victory over Cincinnati, we continue our look back at week number 5. The Buffalo Bills played their first game of the year at home in week 2, hadn't played there since. Remember that game? Yeah, they beat Tennessee 41-7. Well, today, they pulled a similar act on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Snap to Josh. Looks downfield, going to throw it. Sets up deep. Throwing deep. Looks downfield for Gabe Davis again. He makes a one-handed catch. Goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Holy mackerel, they did it again. 62 yards. Gabe Davis made a spectacular one-handed catch. He was in a hand fight all the way down the field. 62-yard touchdown throw.
John Murphy, WGR Sports Radio 550 in Buffalo. He actually wrestled the ball away from Minkah Fitzpatrick, who had the other half of it as they caught it in the end zone. That was one of two big touchdown catches for Gabe Davis today. He had 3 catches for 171 yards, including a 98-yarder, and 2 scores as Buffalo beat Pittsburgh 38-3. So if you don't have a pencil handy, you don't want to do the math. 79-10 is their combined scores of their 2 games at home this year. Who wants to go to Highmark Stadium? Nobody wants to face Josh Allen. 424 yards and 4 scores on the day for the 4-1 Bills. Kenny Pickett got his first start in the NFL. 34 for 52. 327 yards. Still hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. Was picked off in the game, and the largest margin of defeat since the Steelers lost 51-0 back in 1989 when Chuck Noll was their head coach. So Mike Tomlin was asked after the game if any of this had to do with his team's effort.
You know, I don't have a lot of questions in that regard. I got questions about the quality of our play and our, some of the positions that we put them in, but I don't question that component in my gut as I stand here. We just got smashed today.
Yeah, they did. And Pittsburgh is now 1-4 on the year. All right, the New York Jets beat the Dolphins today. 40-17 was the final score. Zach Wilson throws for 210 yards on the day. It was a coming-out party for Breece Hall. The rookie ran for 97 yards and also had 100 yards receiving. First Jet running back with a 100-yard receiving game since LaDainian Tomlinson back in 2011. Big victory for the Jets today, and they end a 12-game losing streak inside the division to improve to 3-2. The Dolphins' news not as good. Teddy Bridgewater got knocked out of this game early in the first quarter, and although he passed a doctor's test, the new protocols about the fact that he was not responding properly removed him from the game for good. Skylar Thompson came in, the 7th-round pick out of Kansas, threw for 166 yards on the day, but Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle were pretty much held down. Miami falls to 3-2 on the year. Now you take a look at what's going on with the New England Patriots. Well, they were playing the Detroit Lions today, the team that came in with 140 points scored, 24 or more in 6 straight. Yeah, but they weren't playing Bill Belichick's defense.
They've got trips to the left, Hawkinson to the right. Goff leans forward and back to his right, extending the hands. He takes the snap. He is going to look to play it out. He's chased by Judon, rolling to the left. Goff fumbles. It's scooped up. Duggar has it. Foot race to the 35-30. Duggar's in the clear to the 10. End zone bound. High stepping, leaping, coming down with a touchdown, New England.
Bob Socci, Scott Zolak, 98.5, the Sports Patriots Radio Network. New England wins this one 29-0. They shut out the highest scoring team in the NFL. It was Bailey Zappi in his first career start, 17 for 21, $188, and a touchdown. By the way, now 5 quarterbacks drafted outside the first round have made their first NFL start for Bill Belichick. They have all won. Quarterbacks for all other teams in that span are 30 and 80. And by the way, the Pat Patriot, the whole, red jersey, white helmet thing today was fantastic. New England is now 2-3. Jared Goff, 229 today, but turned it over twice. Detroit falls to 1-4 on the year. All right, it was the Chargers. It was the Cleveland Browns. It was crunch time in their ball game today at First Energy Stadium. And Chargers had a chance to put the game away, but Brandon Staley decided to go for it on 4th down on his side of the field in the closing moments. He didn't make it. And that gave Cleveland an opportunity to try to win the game.
16 seconds left. Browns down by 2. Here's York. Snap back. Ball down. He's into it. End over end. That kick is up, and it is good. No, he missed it. It looked good, and then it veered right. No good.
Disappointment for Jim Donovan and the Cleveland Browns radio network, and for all of Cleveland's fans, is that field goal missed with 11 seconds to go. Chargers win at 30-28. Justin Herbert throws for a touchdown. Austin Eckler had 2 more touchdowns. That gives him 50 now for his NFL career. Chargers are 3-2. Jacoby Brissett, a big interception in this one that hurt his team. Nick Chubb had a big day, 17 carries for 134 yards and 2 scores. Cleveland is now 2-3. It was Tennessee over Washington today, 21-17 was the final score in that ball game. And as it turned out, Ryan Tannehill threw for a touchdown. Derrick Henry ran for a couple of scores in this one and for 102 yards as Tennessee improved to 3-2. Washington saw Carson Wentz throw for 358 and 2 scores, but he got picked off at the goal line in the closing seconds. Washington now 1-4. And Houston beat Jacksonville again, make it 9 in a row. 1 touchdown scored in this game. It came from Dameon Pierce. It came in the 4th quarter as the Texans win for the first time this year. They are now 1-3-1 on the season. Trevor Lawrence threw a couple of interceptions. No touchdowns on the day today. Jacksonville falls to 2-3 on the year. We're going to wrap things up when we return. This is Westwood One's coverage of the National Football League.
Touchdown! NFL fans, get more of the great content you crave right now on the SXM app. Just search for your favorite team on the app and tap the favorite star. You not only hear the game with your hometown announcers, but you'll also get access to the pre- and post-game shows. And come back during the week for extra content from select clubs, including coach and player press conferences, special team-specific shows, interviews, and much more. It's all on the SXM app. Download it and search for your team today.
Premier League Mornings is on NBC, USA and Peacock. It's more than a club crest. It's the air we breathe.
Experience the anxious electricity, the emotional energy.
It's devastation.
Utter humiliation.
And glory.
And that is what champions do!
It's more than a game. It's life. Premier League Mornings, all season long on NBC, USA and Peacock.
Hey, this is Alyssa Lang from SiriusXM SEC Radio. This football season, there's only one way to stay up to date with your favorite school, the SXM app. From interviews with coaches,
Nick Saban, our guest.
Everybody wants to develop. How many people are willing to do the things they need to do to develop?
to analysis on your team.
They have the best returning offensive line in the SEC.
It's all in one place on the SXM app. Just search for your school's name and look for that iconic logo. Download the SXM app and start listening today.
If ACC football runs deep in your veins, then SiriusXM ACC Radio is where you need to be. We're talking conference and team previews, live games, news, and analysis from experts like Chris Patola, Ronnie Jones, and Torrey Holt, coaches shows, championship specials, and more. Get inside ACC football like nowhere else. Feed your fandom on the SiriusXM app. Stay up to date anywhere you go. Just download the app to start streaming.
Final score, Baltimore 19, Cincinnati 17. You've been listening to Westwood One's coverage of Sunday Night Football. Tonight's broadcast has been sponsored by Bounty Paper Towels, by Barbasol Shaving Cream, by Progressive Insurance, by AutoZone, by Jack Links, and by NFL.com. I want to thank our crew for this evening. Studio coordinator Art Martinez, production assistance provided by Ryan Eigenbrod, statistician Jason Yellen, spotter Michael Garland, engineer Bob White. Production supervisors Aaron Cummins and Brian Finkelstein. Coordinating producer Mike Eby. The executive producer of Westwood One Sports is Howard Deneroff. Join us again tomorrow night for Monday Night Football. The Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. Kevin Harlan and Hall of Famer Kurt Warner have all the action. Pre-game coverage with NFL Network's Rich Eisen kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Then later this week, it's Thursday Night Football. The Washington Commanders at the Chicago Bears. And finally, next Sunday night, the Philadelphia Eagles host the Dallas Cowboys with first place on the line in the NFC East. You can catch all those games right here on many of these same stations on the NFL app or streamed live for free on our website, westwoodonesports.com. Once again, our final score tonight from Charm City, Justin Tucker does it again. Game-winning field goal as time expires, Baltimore 19, Cincinnati 17. Now for Ryan Radke and Ross Tucker, no relation, I'm Scott Graham. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to Sunday Night Football on Westwood One.
You've been listening to the National Football League on SiriusXM Radio.